dialed in to Bucks and Brews, you might hear something you can use. Like tips on your cash or tips on the suds. You're gonna want to use the smarts of these stuff. Cause they know the brews, and they know the Bucks, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks. So listen up, cause shit's not funny. And save yourself some beer money. Bucks and Brews.
Bucks and
Bucks and Brews.
Bucks and Brews.
So, welcome back to Bucks and Brews. Nick, it's only been a week this time.
Hey, that's not bad. That's a record for us.
That is pretty good considering it's softball season and half the time I'm not available.
Right.
We're going to have a great episode tonight, don't you think?
Very excited.
So excited.
Congrats on 2 years.
Hey!
Let's say. Nailed it. Cheers. Bucks and Brews glasses.
2 years doing this. Who would have thought?
Yeah. And let's say, I'm really excited tonight because we're celebrating 2 years. I brought out the tried and true #1 blue Bud Light because that's who I am at heart, right? Just a Bud Light.
You were drinking so many good things, and now you're back to that.
We were telling the quick story. I left here last week or the week before, and I went to the store to pick up next week's episode of beer, and got my wife a big bottle of gin, and I can't locate that 6-pack anywhere.
Do you know where the gin is?
Yeah, it's sitting on the counter.
It's not with the beer, though.
No.
Oh, good.
No, it's
You have to leave it at the store.
I'm pretty positive I grabbed it. Maybe I'll stop tonight and check.
So you're with your tried and true. I have
Yeah.
a couple sponsors this week, so I'm drinking my last of my Samuel Smith's organic chocolate stout that Mike gave me, and I got a little bit there for you.
Thank you.
When I get done with that, I'm going to Lost Coast peanut butter chocolate milk stout, and then my wife bought this Blake's Hard Cider Peach Party, which is peach and blackberry. She did not like it, so I'm going to figure out tonight whether this is good or not. Mike, what you drinking?
I am starting with, I had to stop by the store, so I found it's Austin from Austin, Texas. My camera's horrible.
Yep.
East Ciders watermelon cider.
That sounds
And then-
delicious, is it?
After that, I've drank some of these already in the past few days, but it's Schoferhofer. It's a pomegranate Hefeweizen. It's actually imported from Germany.
There you go.
Say that 10 times fast. Is the watermelon good?
It's good.
Awesome. We're joined by a guest. We love guests.
We do.
So we're joined by Adam from Real World Side Hustles. I can't say that 10 times fast. Adam, what are you drinking?
Hey guys, so I'm from Utica, New York, and we have a local brewery. Most people might know Saranac. It's regional Northeast, but this is their Pilsner Utica Club. It's halfway between a Bud Light and a regular Bud. It's not like a really heavy beer or anything.
All right.
We love to support local.
We do. Let's say, except for me, who just
Who supported Swedish.
Right.
beer.
Bud Light's my second choice. If there's not Utica Club at a restaurant or bar, I'll do Bud Light on draft.
I knew I liked this guy.
Yeah.
It's just meant to be,
It,
right?
it really is. So, Nick, why don't
You're
you
gonna
tell?
basically drop David and take him as your new Bucks and Brews partner.
That's it. I mean, can you do
Screw you,
technology?
Mike.
Can you do technology? Because I'm out. Say.
Let's tell everybody how we found Adam.
All right. So David and I play on TikTok way too much, way too often. And I'm going across and I see a video of Adam's talking about, a dance floor thing. And kind of what his business, he'll go into that a little bit more. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden I see another one and another one. And so I tag David and I'm like, David, we have to get this guy on Bucks and Brews. And all of a sudden, boom, Adam's like, hey, friended David, and David, honestly, the VIP of our whole thing. I just show up to be a pretty face. David does all the connections.
Hey, that guy candy.
Right. He does all of the technology stuff. So then you guys connected, and next thing I know, I'm told, hey, we have a guest, and I'm really excited about it.
I knew you would be so excited for this week when I told you what was up.
Yeah.
By the way, both of our wives hate the fact that we found Adam's TikTok.
Right.
Because the first words out of my wife's mouth was, no, we're not doing a fucking dance floor. Leave me alone. And I'm like, but that's such a good idea. And she goes, fuck off.
Say,
A dance floor at the business?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. So I own a party rental business, and Dance Floor was one of them. And I tried to convince most of my friends from college live in New York City or Tennessee or Nashville or whatever. And I said, dudes, you just need this dance floor. It can fit in your trunk. You don't need a warehouse, and you can get this out everywhere. So I was like, I'm going to make a video about it. And then TikTok happened. People on TikTok.
It's really an ingenious idea though. And honestly, most of Adam's TikToks they look simple. I mean, there's a lot of work to them, but it's not anything that a normal person couldn't do if they want to put in the work.
Right.
No, so that's the reason why I made this TikTok page. So my main thing is YouTube, teaching people the rental business. And then I got on TikTok because everyone's talking about it. And I'm like, all right, let me look at what TikTok's about. And I saw people talking about side hustles, and I hated all of these people. They're talking about some stupid thing online, or do this, or they just send you to these really chintzy websites. And I was like, these are not real side hustles. These are just people trying to talk about things to get you to view them, like to watch them. And I'm like, these people are inauthentic and not sharing good information. So I was like, I've been around since 2005, learning business and talking to people and, doing research and stuff to all these things. I have some real side hustles that people can do. Let me put this out in the world.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, because I get so tired of, hey, all you have to do is to go to Google Images and copy the first 5 photos that are there and then put it over here to this website, and every click gets you a penny. And it's like, no, it doesn't. Like, hey, people will buy coloring pages. Go here and fill out these and put them over here.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, that's just stop, right? Just stop.
Yep. Or the big one is go to ClickBank and sign up for an affiliate and, affiliate their things, or go do this and put it on Etsy. And it's just like, oh my God, none of this makes any money.
Right. It's like,
Well, I got to imagine, the fact that your TikTok took off, you probably have a whole lot of people that are offering you their opinion. And it's not coming from, let's say, an educated
right
place.
Right. So my TikTok actually took off, and I didn't know why until someone told me. So my dance floor video, I was brand new to TikTok basically, and there's a button on TikTok to record. I didn't know you could lift your finger up and pause. So I knew I had 3 minutes, and I just went for it. I just finished unloading a truck, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this dance floor video, and I'm breathing heavy. And so the reason I blew up was because I looked like an out of shape dude, breathing heavy, just talking, and people commented on it so much. But then that got people in. So,
I mean, if they want to see out of shape, breathing heavy, I mean, that's just us all day.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, This is the right show for that.
I had to walk up 20 steps just to get here.
Did you scrape your knee open? Because I did. It makes it really hard to walk.
So tell us a little bit about your business or businesses, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So I graduated college, and I was like, I'm going to start a rental company because my roommate in college worked for a rental company, and I would go occasionally work with him. And then over the summer, I worked at one, and that's when I started seeing the invoices. I'm like, this is how much they're making by just putting up a tent. So my last 2 weeks of college, I cashed in my bonds from my grandma, who thought one day it's going to buy a house, but it was like $300 worth. So I bought a bunch of used steaks at a place. Then I cashed out. Then I maxed out some credit cards and bought some tents, and then I just kept putting money back in. My first year, I only had 3 tents, and then over the next winter, I worked 80 hours a week at like gas stations and hotels and stuff, so I could buy 10 tables and 100 chairs for the next summer. And then I just kept putting it all back in and back in and back in until I one day just woke up and had a lot of money. And it just kind of happens. If you just keep putting it back in and keep working, just one day you're like, whoa, I don't got money issues anymore.
Right.
And then from there, so you ever meet someone who says like, I own 4 businesses, but they're like all the same business?
Within itself, yeah.
Yeah. So like, I try not to say that. So, but I technically have 3 rental businesses, but they all kind of work in tandem. So I've got a restroom trailer business with 2 other guys. That's luxury restrooms inside a trailer, real toilet, real AC, real sink. And that's me and 2 other people. Then we've got kind of catering side where caterers will order dishes and flatware and glassware and stuff, for catering. And that's with a former employee who I thought was a good worker. And I was like, well, I don't want to deal with dishes. If I give him, like a percentage, he's going to clean these things perfectly. And he has. We've never had an issue about, like this is dirty, because he takes pride in it. It's part of his money. So those businesses all kind of work together. They take orders separate and this and that. But like when a customer calls and says, we need a restroom trailer, we need a tent, we need dishes, they just deal with me. And then I kind of like sub rent from the other companies. And, one hand washes the other. We pay each other like they're in just another business. And then we have, with the same dudes in the restroom trailer business, we bought a barn converted into a house. So it's a 12,000 square foot barn converted into a house. And that's our Airbnb. And the dining room seats 50. So we allow 50 people, like little weddings in there. And then outside we excavated spots to put tents up, and then they can get a tent and usually a restroom trailer. And then we charge them an extra $2,000 to have their wedding outside in the tent, because we had to put in a parking lot and all that.
Okay.
And then, various other things, YouTube.
Yeah. So yeah, YouTube, TikTok. Now I hear you mention Turo. I've used it once now, right? Do you do that with any of your vehicles?
I really would. I would go out and buy a Tesla tomorrow if I could in New York, but New York is the stupidest state for apps and stuff. Like, I would also do an RV and rent those, but you can't get insurance through the RV app in New York. And Turo, I could do it, but I got to have some sort of professional license to do it. Whereas in another state, just anyone can do it.
You gotta start running your LLC through Wyoming, right?
So they can do anything there.
Well, so your LLC is like untouchable basically, because they hide it behind stuff, and then you would claim some type of residency there, which is why, like, when you're in New York and you'll see like a Wyoming plate or whatever it is, or it's they paid so much less for tax, they did all this. They're, these people know the game after a while. You just learn all these stupid things. So
no, that definitely works for the LLC stuff, but for these apps though,
yeah,
just your things.
Your insurance has to be in that state itself.
Yeah. So I would love to do Turo. I think it would be, owning 3 Teslas and just Turo them out would be awesome.
So I was watching Adam's TikTok yesterday, because I'm on TikTok a lot. And I saw one of your TikToks about renting out refrigerators and ovens and stuff. And, you talk about the whole catering thing. And I didn't even know that was a thing, that caterers didn't have their own refrigerator and ovens and stuff that they brought.
Right. No, they don't want to, number one, because they're cooks. That's what they do. They make food as best as they can. So they want to show up to a wedding where it's an offsite wedding. The wedding venue doesn't have a kitchen. So they want to show up and have their kitchen ready. So we'll set up the tent, we'll put the oven, grill, refrigerator, freezer in there, and we'll get it all ready for them to go. They show up, they cook, everyone's happy at the wedding, they leave. They don't want to be dealing with that. At the end of it all, there's like maybe 6 to 1,000 pieces of silverware, flatware, glassware. They don't want to be cleaning those. They don't want to be transporting that oven. Now, there are some caterers who have set up a kitchen in a, trailer, and they'll just show up with that. But even those caterers, they're still renting dishes because they don't want to deal with it. People just want to do what they are good at. They don't need to be a logistics company as well.
And that makes perfect sense. It's just nothing I ever thought of.
Well, and I want to go back to the refrigerator thing.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. You had a company that wants refrigerators and they don't want to buy them, but you already own 6, and now you own 9 all of a sudden.
Yeah. So this huge company, they're called Wolfspeed. They're making semiconductors for Lucid cars, Tesla's rival. They just built this amazing facility, and their commercial refrigerator is not going to be in until September. This is for their own internal cafeteria, and they wanted to rent them. And I'm like, I have 6, but they're all out every single weekend. And he's like, oh, we really need them. What can you do? And I'm like, I just called to make sure I could buy them first, and I could. And I called the guy back, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but if you want them, I'm charging you cost for them. And he's like, oh yeah, no, I understand. I just like to be straight up with the people. Like, I'm not trying to rip you off here. I don't necessarily need these. I won't be buying these unless you needed them. And he's like, I understand. So he went to his boss person, came back and said, yeah, so I'm charging them cost for the 3 refrigerators. At the end of August, they're my refrigerators, and I'll be able to get them out.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to just rent them for pure profit after that. And we are what, May, June, July, August. So
Yeah.
3 months.
3 months.
3 months out, and you've gotten yourself paid off refrigerators.
And then it's all on TikTok, the comments are like, why won't they buy them? Why won't they buy them?
Because they don't fucking.
I just like, I don't care. I don't go into that. I'm not going to ask those questions and then
Right.
have them start thinking about it.
Right. Hey, why don't you buy them yourself if I can get you the supplier? Just throw me 10. No, I'd walk away with free things.
I remember having a sales job once, and I'd be sitting there talking about it, and I'd be on the phone with a guy, and he'd be like, did you tell them what the cost is yet? And I'm like, no. And they're like, good, don't. Because if they know we can sell this for $1,000, you get $100. But if they think we can sell it for $1,800, you get $500. Okay. So keep my mouth shut then.
Kirby Sales Right 101.
Filter
Right.
green, but thank you.
Well, now that you said that, now I'm going to ask, because I make phone calls all the time to the places that I buy stuff from, and we get off the phone and I never ask how much it is. They never tell me how much it is. I just know I need the thing, and it's going to be money. And then I get a bill and, a receipt in the mail. I'm like, oh, that was $500. Okay. I'm going to ask from now on.
Most things are negotiable. And so I come from a family of Jews. This is going to sound racist. I'm sorry. So I come from a family of Jews. I'm not good at any of that.
Yeah.
I don't haggle over anything. If somebody tells me this is $20, it's $20. I give that to my wife to haggle over. I'm like, Dawn, go haggle over this shit. Get it for less.
Yep, I'm the biggest haggler. Whenever like my buddy was joking. He's like, I'm flying you down here to New York so you can go negotiate the price of my car because I watched you work. And I'm just like, it'd be worth the plane ticket and we get to hang out. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I go to New York and I'll see somebody on the street and I'm just like, yep, let's haggle over your knockoff purse. I don't care. Like, let's have fun here.
Right.
I mean, I haggle over price all the time.
So did you get money off of his car?
I didn't go down, no, but he ended up getting a completely different. He doesn't know what the hell he wants, but I think he ended up with a plug-in something. I don't know.
Well, again, having the business here, Dawn gets mad at my pricing because I price things what I think people will pay for.
Yeah.
And she would never pay for that. I would never pay for that. I mean, you've seen what I charge, right? We had one of those overhead projectors that you used to have in school. It was $80.
Yeah.
And Nick tried to talk his friends into buying it. It sold a week later for the $80 I was asking for it. I would never pay that, but I know people will. But honestly, if somebody came up to me and said, I'd pay $70 for that, I probably would go, yeah, okay.
Yeah. No, it's not probably, you would right then on the spot. But like, I would never pay $50 for a printer. And I was out talking to some friends and I think I was wearing one of your guys' shirts or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you can go there and I was at Courtney's party. So like for her work.
Yeah.
And you can go there and break a printer. And I was like, yeah, I'd rather break glass. And they're like, it's only $40 or what, 50. And I was like, only, like, Jesus, you people have money. Right? Like,
wait, $40 to break a printer?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Look at him. He's all excited. He's like, I'm coming to Michigan.
Wow. That's crazy.
It really depends on what you're looking for. So we have like one of those office style copiers.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one we had, I charged $100. And the second one we had, I charged $120. The one we have downstairs is bigger than both of those.
Oh, okay.
It's $180. You get a whole hour. We'll give you some glass. 4 of you get to just beat the shit out of it for an hour.
All right. Question.
Yes.
Do you put on the music from that movie
Office
Space?
That is
while
on the
they're breaking
playlist.
Printer? Okay.
So we have about 150 songs on a playlist. It's mostly metal, hard rock, a little bit of rap, and absolutely the song from Office Space is on there. And honestly, a funny thing. So the guy that played Samir, AJ Nadeau, my wife paid $60 last year for him to do a cameo. So he does an entire cameo about you should come to break room therapy and break the shit out of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
Let me guess. Another song on there has to be Limp Bizkit Break Stuff. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
and there's a little Michael Bolton. Michael Bolton.
Why should I have to change his name? He's the one that sucks.
Right.
I just want a stapler now. But so you worked for somebody, so you kind of knew the whole how to set up a tent then, right?
I knew how to set up the basic tents. I was a low man on the totem pole when I worked in the summer. All these kids knew each other from like school. So I was with this like weird old dude, and we were just setting up small tents. My friend who I roommates with, he quit the company he was working with because he was running their operation, but they paid him barely anything, didn't give him any benefits, nothing. And so he saw I was making, $30,000 a summer doing small tents. So he left, did his own thing. And he's like, Adam, you gotta start doing weddings. You need to get a website too. This is, 2006, 2007. Websites weren't on my mind. Yellow pages were on my mind. Then he showed me his books, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do weddings and get a website, because he came from the world. He knew weddings was where it's at. So I didn't know how to do a wedding tent. So the 2 days before I put up my first one, I went out to him in Rochester and, put one up, and then went back and did mine. And that was it.
It worked out.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how many employees do you have? And are they all full time? Are they part time?
So we don't do much in the winter. Pre-COVID, I was maybe making 2,000 to 3,000, a week, and that's just tables and chairs, and I can do that by myself. So during the winter, I have my office manager who runs everything. Like most days, I don't know what's going on in the business. I just get the paperwork. I don't want to be in the office. I'm better out on the road. So he's full-time, and then everyone else is seasonal. I've been fortunate enough to hire some ex-military people who, they're making a whole bunch of money from the government per month anyways, because they have a certain mental, they're labeled disabled.
Sure.
And stuff like that. And they just want some extra money. So, and then a lot of kids are college kids, and I've just been fortunate. Everyone's been really good. So during prime season, we got 6 full-time road crew guys, and then part-time guys that come in and out as they need to, and then the manager, and then the dish side. I don't even pay attention to the dish side. He's got guys coming in. There's new people in all the time. He's got rotating 15 people. So it's hard to say how many people are around.
Actually hired in. Say, who needs $12 this week?
Yeah, basically.
Now, let's say you do tents, and then I guess real quick. So can you explain the money aspect and how you upsell, right? Because I don't want to give away your product, but right, you said you did tables and chairs, and what else do you offer?
Right. So, basic, you think about a graduation party, basic small tents in the backyard for a barbecue, 4th of July. They're called 20 wides, 20 by 20, 20 by 30, 20 by 40. And then the basic tables, either round or rectangle, and then chairs. And then you go up from there to 30 wide, which will be either big backyard party or a small wedding, 30 by 40, 30 by 60. And then they're probably going to get white chairs and some lights. And then we have dance floor. And then you get up to the weddings, which is 40 wides, 50 wides, 60 wides, 100 wides. I only go up to 40 wides. I don't want to deal with 50s and 60s. And then those are big weddings, and they're getting, the full thing. Tent, tables, chairs, fancier ones, lights, dance floors, linens, dishes, restroom trailers. So just a backyard tent wedding, if you came through me, the most that you're probably going to spend would be 20,000, but most weddings are somewhere between 5 and 10 that I'm doing every Wednesday. We set them up Wednesday for Saturday. And then there's just a lot of other things, like the catering tent. Catering tent's only a 20 by 20 filled with the kitchen stuff. And that literally takes 20 minutes, but that's close to $3,000 just because it's specialized equipment. And then there's just a lot of table and chair orders. One of my best ones is a college, where every other week we're at this college dropping off anywhere from 300 to 600 chairs. And it's the easiest thing, just lift gate right into the gym. And then they take care of everything. If you can think of it for a party, we have it. We got games, You know, we've got games that we made, like ladder ball's a chintzy kind of game when you buy it from Walmart. So we've made it out of PVC pipe and it's like 8 feet tall. And so it's like a giant ladder ball. So it's like way cooler.
It's like bowling balls for your things to throw.
Yeah. Well, I found the practice softballs. They look like big golf balls and then you just spray paint them. The spray paint chips off. So I only spray painted one set red and the other set stays green.
Sure. And then, so now when you go to the college, I seen one video, you had to zip tie everything together, huh?
Yeah, that was a new thing. So for the last 8 years, we've been getting, they call it RFQ, request for quote.
Yep.
And the college like that, they always go with the lowest. And I know from talking to people that zip tying 1,500 chairs together is going to suck. I haven't done it myself, but I knew it was going to suck. So I priced accordingly. Every single year they denied me. And because the new company would say, yeah, we're going to do that. Next year, new company's like, no, that sucked. We're not doing that. So they ran through everyone and finally they went with me. And man, it did suck. Setting up 1,500 chairs is no problem. But the zip tying, you're just like bent over a little bit for 1,500 chairs. It was like an hour and a half of zip tying. It sucked.
Are you putting like one zip tie on? Or are you putting like one on each, like front and back? So it's like actually like 30,000 zip ties.
So my initial plan 8 years ago, I put it in the quote, was I was going to zip tie the top and the 2 feet together on the bottom. So it would have been 3 zip ties per chair. I only did 1 this time. I didn't put 3 in the quote because I knew from talking to people, all you need to do is just zip tie near the top together. They just don't want someone being like, oh, I'm just going to sit over here with this chair.
Sure.
They want it to look all nice for the college graduation.
And now it seems to me like some of the numbers I've kind of seen is basically you're paid off in like 4 rents. I mean, I could be wrong on that, but like you're talking about, hey, I'm buying a table, the fill and chill, which I now want one, I don't know, $120 like new, and you're saying you're renting them out for like $30 each. I mean, is that a normal thing where you're paid off in like 4 rentals?
So the normal is about 10. Whatever
Okay.
you get, you divide it by 10, and that's your approximate price. But then you have to go to like local competition and see what they're doing and stuff.
Sure.
I know the fill and chill table you're talking about, it might be the one on Amazon. That one's I think 120. That one sucks. I bought it and
Thanks.
it's horrible. The actual real ones are around 250.
Jeez.
So that's ooh, sorry. I guess drinking beer, you're gonna burp, right?
What happens?
Welcome to Bucks and Brews, baby.
Right. So at $30, 10 rentals is 300. It's paid for. Some things like lighting, like you get back in the second rental, and then other things, I tell the people, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm never going to use this. You want this thing, I'll get it for you, but you're paying for it, and then I'm going to own it. So some things you get back in 1 rental.
Sure. And that's, I mean, people like my wife would be that person, right?
Mhm.
Like, hey, we're never going to use this stupid thing again. Like, I'll just pay for it and he can store it and I'll never have to bother it.
Right.
Me, I'm like, fuck, let's just throw that thing in the corner, right? So,
Yeah.
I might use it one other time and then I've got it for half price. Say,
Exactly.
This is the reason why my wife and your wife hate us.
that's a fact. Do you have giant Jenga?
No, because it's not giant enough for me. Like if it's going to be giant Jenga, it's got to be freaking 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
So
You want people jumping on trampolines to get to the top area?
yeah, basically,
I totally get this.
they sell giant Jenga, but it's it's not big enough. It's
Right.
not
I
giant.
think it's like 3.5 feet, maybe.
Yeah. So if I were to make it,
it isn't scaled. Let's
No.
just say that.
if I were to make it, it would have to be a hollow form so that if a log fell on a kid, it's not going to kill him.
Right? I could just see you doing 4x4s or
How
6x6s.
the ladder ball did they get the things down if they're like on the top ladder?
Well, I mean,
Like
it's
the
not.
little side ladder they climb on?
It's on a string, so it's hanging down. You can just reach up and grab it.
No, that's great. And then where do people, if they wanted to get started, where would people start with this company?
So the most common things is just a backyard party, 20 by 20, 6 tables, 50 chairs. You can get that out every single weekend. and then you just keep getting similar sizes from there and keep adding things. And it's expensive to add another tent and all the tables and chairs. So you can add games, you can add cocktail tables, you can add sides to the tent, you can add lights. And then your job that was 400 now is maybe 600 with stuff that doesn't take up that much room in your vehicle. And then you're like, okay, now I'm making a bunch of money. Then you get more tents and more tents. And then you just keep an eye out and keep a track, keep a piece of paper on your wall. Someone called you for a 40 by 40. Did 10 people call you for it? Once 10 people call you for it, then you're like, oh, if I buy it, it's going to get paid for and I'm going to make money on it. But if you have no money and you want to start renting stuff, you know, those wire spools that, like, you know, the electric companies, you know, the wooden spools, people use them for tables sometimes.
Yep.
We have 3.
Yeah. So a lot of times you can find those for free. People are renting those out for $45 a pop. All they're doing is buying some burlap from like Hobby Lobby and putting maybe some Christmas lights under it, and then renting it to someone's wedding for a cupcake table or a gift table. And all they had to do was spend $10 in materials and they got the thing for free.
David, wasn't that basically the tables you were using?
Those were the
Old
tables
site?
we used at the original break room therapy. Yes. Before we moved.
Is there, like, with similar, like, other purchases, like these like big tents, is there, like, you know, when you're getting toward like end of season, can you get better deals on like purchasing for next year?
Kinda. So
You know? Yeah.
every year there's a American Rentals Association Expo, and they run discounts during then, about 20%. But any other time of the year, you're paying full price. In the summertime, you're actually paying more because there's so much demand for it.
I just think of, like, for me, like, you know, different tents, of course, because it's camping tents for scouts and stuff. But I know, like, you know, late fall, you know, early winter, certain ones go on sale a little bit, like especially like your summer type tents.
What you want to do is you want to go to auctions and get them for pennies on the dollar, because you don't need a brand new white tent for, you know, Boy Scout kind of event or whatever.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about for the tents and stuff that if I camp.
Right.
I own like 3 of them.
Right.
Probably gonna own like 2 more within the next year because I like having a lot of tents.
Okay.
I think I own 3 or 4that I don't use.
Me with softball bats. So Adam said something a minute ago that cued me into something, because, you know, having the business here, we've had a lot of people inquire, hey, how do I do this? You know, will you help? And Dawn's always like, yeah, I will. And if, you know, I'm happy to have an hour-long conversation with you. But after that, if you want my help, you know, you're going to have to pay for it. So does anybody ever get a hold of you, Adam, and go, hey, can I pay you a fee for you to help walk me through this?
Yeah. So when I started the YouTube, I was answering every comment, but as it got bigger, it's like, I just can't do this. I need some way. And I feel very ashamed and bashful about getting paid to talk to people, because I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't like it that much, because I already make a lot of money. So, but I had to funnel it down. I had to shrink it. So I made a Patreon where people I kept it reasonable. There's like $3 where you're just saying like, hey, I like you. Like you used to buy someone's CD because you like them.
Yep.
You're not expecting anything from me. You're just saying, I like you, keep doing what you're doing. $12, we can text through the app, and $50 a month, you got my phone number, you can call me. And I've had people on it for the past 3 years, and I maybe talk to them twice a year. And they're just like, I keep it because I call you when there's an emergency, and I like having it. And then you tell me what to do. And then some lady bought her husband my time for $300 for his birthday. And everyone tells me I could charge more, but I'm not comfortable with it.
I'm the exact same way, because, you know, in real estate, everybody tells you, hey, go find a mentor. And the way you find it is bring them to coffee or bring them to a drink. Or 90% of the time I found myself like, hey, I'll meet up with you. Tab comes and I'm like, hey man, I'm already making money. You're just getting started. Let me pick up the tab. Right. And like, after like, I don't even know how many it would be, just a crap ton of people, and watching them not actually take my advice and go do it. Like I finally was getting frustrated. And so I was like, you know what? I am worth this $12 in beers that you're going to buy me.
Right.
Like, I will take that. So and it's not much, right? I'm not out here selling programs. I'm not selling anything. And I tell people, like, you have my number, you're always more than welcome to call me. But understand that if you want my time, you have to like officially buy my time and you will get everything about it, right?
Right.
But now
The Christmas just buying the 99 pack of
PBR.
VR, and you'll have them for like the entire day.
Years.
Hey,
Yeah.
I still have some of that PBR. It's in the basement. I forget about it.
Right.
So you had mentioned that you started out kind of by yourself, a 20 by 20. Can you put a 20 by 20 up by yourself?
Yeah, so easy, you can put up to a 20 by 40 up by yourself. It just takes a lot of time because you like walk back and forth to unfold things and whatnot. But yeah,
Sure.
so someone could get 20 by they could get 3 20 by 20s and do those all on a Friday afternoon
Sure.
for a Saturday and take them all down Sunday, and you got an extra $1,000 to $2,000 in your pocket depending on your area, how much
Sure.
you can charge.
I mean, now it's like, 'cause it seems like chairs would be the way to start out, I guess, because they go with everything. And then you said colleges rent them. And I know, like, for my grandparents, when we had Thanksgiving, they would always just go get a few tables and a crap ton of chairs because we had a family of 50 in a 300 square foot house, not a 12,000 barn living house. And we always made it work, but right. $1 a chair type thing.
I remember my graduation party. We rented a tent.
Yep.
It was not a 20 by 20. It was probably 10 by 10. And crap ton of chairs.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody used the chairs.
So everybody's
Right.
thinking-
Yeah,
I did
so
after I ate like my 100th sandwich.
True.
there's a lot of companies that start with those like garage port kind of tents that are like 10 by 20, 10 by 30.
Mhm.
But they suck. They take forever to put up. But they're cheap. Someone sees it and it's like, oh, this is $200 and I can rent this out. And they eventually, if they're going to stick around, they eventually get to the tents that I have.
Yeah, so that's kind of my next question is, when starting this, should you, because we talked about the fill and chill, you said the 120 just sucks. Should you just start with higher quality things?
I'm always conflicted on this. I feel like you should, because if you're going to start a business, you're thinking longevity. You're not thinking I'm going to do this for 2 years and be done. So the thing with the higher quality things, like there's tables made here in America that can last 40, 50 years as long as you sand them occasionally and restain them. Now, if you buy a Chinese table, that's just got a very, very thin laminate on it. As soon as it gets wet, it's done. And
Yeah.
you can't sand it. The wood under there is just not going to be sandable and stainable. But it was $50 cheaper. So I say buy better. But I do tell some people who are just trying to get their feet wet, like, just go buy plastic stuff, plastic tables, go ahead and buy that garage port tent. Just like see if you like being out there. And if you do, and you know, because it is a lot of work. If you do, then start getting the better stuff. Because you want a chair that lasts, you want a table that lasts 50 years, not 3 years. Even though in the short term it seems cheaper.
Yeah. Have you thought about, throwing like an epoxy on top of your tables to see?
Oh, I
they
have
last long?
recently.
Okay.
I have recently. So my Chinese tables that I bought, I had to buy them. I needed 40 tables like immediately. So I drove down to New Jersey and picked them up. Their corners get all smashed up. So I cut out all the layers of shitty Chinese wood, and not saying Chinese people, Chinese manufacturing.
Yeah.
All right. And I put resin in it and filled those corners back in with like green or blue resin. It looks pretty cool.
Sure.
And a few of the tables were so bad that I did put resin over the entire bit.
Sure.
It's a good idea.
And yeah, I don't know. I always think, so one thing, I'm a slow learner, which sounds,
Are you sure?
no, I don't know. I tell you, like my mentor in real estate. So I had a mentor who owned quite a few properties, and he started selling me some stuff, getting into it. And then, now he's out of his stuff. So last year he ended up, or 2 years ago, he sold me my first ever snowblower, which holy shit, a snowblower is way better than a shovel. Okay.
You think?
But I didn't want to spend the money because I'm sitting here going, all right, $300 for a snowblower, or I have a $12 shovel, and I probably got the shovel for free. Like, I'm just going to go do it. A snowblower, holy, just
How
my
much
time.
faster can you go with a snowblower
So
over a damn
fucking much.
shovel?
So much. Well, and,
Right.
and honestly, I'm the kind of person where if it's my house, I'm just out there every hour. Like, I just shovel the driveway. And I'll wake up in the middle of the night, so I don't have to like shovel heavy stuff. It's not a big deal. Now I just like let it build up because I'm like, just fucking throws it. I'm like, this is the greatest invention of mankind.
Right.
No, air conditioning.
Today I felt like a man, right? Because now the next year he sold me a backpack leaf blower, which
Yeah.
I've used an electric one, which is sure, but like if you ever have a gas powered backpack leaf blower, holy shit balls, this thing is amazing. And
That's so ironic. Yesterday I was using my battery one.
Yeah.
And I was recalling a conversation where my friend works for a landscaper and he's like talking about the gas blower one. And I'm just thinking like, how much would it be better? It's probably got to be so much better.
I tell you, I've mowed over. So I have a pine tree, and it drops pine. And I've mowed over these pine cones, and these things were so embedded into my ground. I'm blowing, and it's just like popping these things up on the ground. I was like, "Holy shit!" I just like cleaned my yard in like minutes. And then, I now have a still weed whacker, which I got twisted twine for it, right? So like it lasts longer. I have a gas powered edger versus all this crap. Like I used to use a shovel to edge, and now I'm sitting here going, holy shit, my time has been cut by like a tenth, or like 1/10 of my time is being used, and I'm done. And it's just so much. So to have a higher end tool and spend that kind of money, I'm just like, this is amazing on my life.
So what you're saying is it took you 34 years to feel like a man.
That's a fact.
Right.
I feel like a man before that, but like when I look at, so I have a 10 by 10 little pop-up canopy tent, right?
Yeah.
And I've had it for a few years and it's sun fading and stuff, but now it's like, man, if I got one, and I see the Chinese tents that you're talking about with like the 1/2-inch legs, right? That are made of really shitty metal. But I've been under a 30 by 40 or whatever the heck you call, with like really thick, canvas on top. So like, it's not going to get weathered as crazy easy. It's not going to break the legs. And so part of me is like, all right, next time I buy a 10 by 10, I'm just going to buy a real nice one. So that way I don't ever have to buy another one again.
Yeah. So this 10 by 10 pop-up thing is like a big crazy thing in the rental industry. Like legitimate companies don't own them, and littler companies did. And I was always anti 10 by 10s, but I'm seeing all these people have them and they're always going out. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get a 10 by 10, but I'm not going to go to Walmart and buy one. So my 10 by 10 was $800. It's a pop-up.
I paid 30.
But they're thick legs. It's like,
Sure.
it's a commercial pop-up tent. And now I don't feel bad about it. And I don't feel bad charging these people what I'm charging them for it, because this is a commercial pop-up. This is not going to fall in the rain. This is not going to break. The corner is not going to break, and I'm going to have to just throw it away.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, that's great. Like, I mean, mine, this is how smart and cheap I am, but I went to the dollar store and bought one gallon water bottles, so that way I use those as weights. Cause I'm like, worst case scenario, I just drink the water and I can refill it. Like, so I have those holding it down and stuff, but yeah. To get the quality aspect, I really, in my head, it seems smarter. It's a lot more money up front, but why not have it last forever?
Well,
Yeah.
your option
Use it as a
is
source of income. I mean, if you're going to use it for popping up, your backyard to have a little bit of shade when you're sitting by your pool or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
get the
a very different
$30 one.
situation.
Yeah.
well, you look at it and it's like, okay, how often do you use it? Well, I use it once a summer. Again, $30 one's great.
Yeah.
I use it every weekend. Fuck, get the $800 one. It's gonna last you.
Yeah.
So so you talking about saving your time, and now you're spending a tenth of time on that.
Yeah.
That's a big thing in the rental industry too. So a lot of people in the beginning don't want to get the efficiency tools, because a jackhammer is $4,500. A hydraulic stake puller is $4,500. A cart is $5,000. You may think you want to, get more tents and stuff and make more money, but I just happened to sign up for a newsletter my first year, and the first newsletter I got was you can either buy more stuff to rent out and work longer hours and make more money, but not necessarily more profit, or you can buy efficiency tools, anything to make your efficiency go faster, and you will make the same money, but you'll be working less hours and having more profit. What sounds better to you? I'm like, the second one sounds better to me.
Right.
So I immediately started buying everything I could to make my job go faster.
Well, and you got smart by doing that, right? I mean, it sounds bad. I still have a hand auger for a lot of things that I do, right? 25 foot. If I can't get it, I just hire somebody else. But there's still part of me that wants the heavy duty 250 foot like line and stuff. And I'm like, the whole drum, right? And I'm like, I should go buy it. But do I go buy the Harbor Freight one that comes with a little warranty, or do I go buy the, $800 one or the $1,500? And I was like, but I only use it once in a blue moon. But now I'm getting more places and I'm using it more often. It's just,
I was gonna say, like, how many houses do you personally have right now, or how many units do you have?
I'm just shy of 40.
40. So, I mean, that's a lot. That could be a clogged toilet once a week.
Could be. So, yeah. And I manage, I don't know, 450 or so.
So speaking of that, I went out, one time I had to have somebody come out and snake the drain.
Yeah.
And I went, fuck that. I went and bought one.
Yeah.
I probably spent $150 on it or whatever.
I own a snake.
$100. Yeah. And I'm like, I had somebody come out and they charged me $100 to come out. And, if I use this twice, it paid for itself.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Say,
Right.
if it's, the problem is I look at snake because normally I get the one with the drill or whatever, and I just call them throwaways, right? You use it once, it's going to kink on you and it's gone. So I pay $15 from Harbor Freight, and when I break one, I go to Harbor Freight and get a new one, right? And,
Harbor Freight's not bad for some things.
So we talk about my Harbor Freight story. I think we talked about it in an episode. Harbor Freight has a warranty on all of their hand tools. So if you break it, you bring it in. So I was poor, poorer than poor back then. But I had a torque wrench. And so I was using that to take my lug nuts off, and I would constantly strip the head of it.
Right.
And so I'd bring it in and replace it. And by the 7th time, they're like, what are you doing? I'm taking my lug nuts off. They're like, you need a breaker bar. And I was like, I can't afford the $12. And so the 7th time I walk in, the manager just goes, here, just take the fucking thing. Here's the breaker bar. It's yours. Like, stop coming in here and replacing the tool. And I was like, all right, I got a breaker bar. It was like,
Nice.
now I get my lug nut off, right? And I was like, I bought the one tool. I can't afford two, right?
I'm just going to say this now. You and I are so fucking cheap.
That's true. But
How much did you spend 7 times replacing that tool where you could have paid?
No. I was in the parking lot.
Yeah,
It's
but-
like
But here's the question. How much did the tool originally cost?
the breaker bar, like
No, the other one.
like $12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you replaced it 7 times.
Yeah. And it's
So
like,
you more than got your money.
yeah, for sure. And I still have that one. So my torque wrench is doing just fine. So do you rent out tools or anything?
No, I never really want to get into that because it's like a whole separate business, and you need someone to fix them and stuff. And I personally don't know how to fix things like that. There's one thing I like to throw into every podcast, so I'm just gonna throw it in, guys.
Throw it in.
All right, so you got to know what business you're in. Whatever business you're in, you may think you're in something. Like, people would say I'm in the party business, but I'm not. I have nothing to do with the party. I'm not there at the party. Days before, days after. So some really experienced guy said, yeah, we're not in the party business. We're in the material handling and logistics business. All we do is get stuff from the warehouse to the truck to site, and then reverse. So once I realized that, I kind of already did. So that's why I invested heavily on efficiency tools. But then I even doubled down on it. And I'm like, all I need to do is just figure out how to move stuff as fast as possible. Because that's my business. I'm material handling and logistics. I'm not a party guy. And then just everything started going so much faster, so much smoother, making more profit and everything. And then I got like a little other example of that. I was talking to a chiropractor, and people would say his job is fixing backs. And it basically is, but he only had 40 people coming in every month. And that's no way to like grow your business. So he stopped basically chiropracting. He would just do the minimum amount, and he would focus on making TikTok videos and Facebook videos and stuff, just little educational videos, getting him out there. And then he grew from 40 people to like 400 to 500 people a month coming in, hire other chiropractors to do it. What he realized his business really is not fixing people's backs. That's the end result. But his business was customer acquisition. So in any business you're in, if you can really focus on and really figure out what your business actually is, you'll succeed even more. And it might not be what you think it is. Does that
I
make
like
sense?
your point right there, because if you would have put like, let's say, I was in Utica, New York. You said, Adams Party Supply. And I was interested in a party, I would probably call you and say, hey, do you have a karaoke machine? Hey, do you have, DJs that, you have on retainer that are part of your company or whatever? Things, again, that you're not dealing with. You're dealing, again, with tents, tables, chairs.
Right.
The big enough one, the fancy portable restrooms and stuff like that. I mean, you probably don't get into. That's probably where your bathrooms lie at. You're not a porta potty guy. You're not going to sit there and throw porta potties out at construction sites or
No.
baseball tournaments or something of that nature.
Right.
Let's say, Mike, you actually kind of brought up a good point. Now, with if somebody wanted DJs, right? Do you work with other local company people? Because I'm assuming people call you for a DJ, right? It's just got to happen. I mean, do you?
Yeah, they ask, Jim, do you know any? And so really anything that happens under the tent or in the ballroom, I don't know any of those people.
Oh, okay.
I've never met them because I'm not there. All those people are there the day of. The people that I do know are like the wedding planners, because we're talking to them months in advance. So I can send people to wedding planners. I can send people to like a photo booth kind of person.
Sure.
But like the florists and the DJs, we just have never really crossed paths with them.
No, it's saying, but now the wedding planners and the photo booth people, do you guys kind of BNI? Do you business network with each other, and like, do they refer you as much as you refer them, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a love-hate relationship with wedding planners,
Of course.
because they're all these people who just plan their own wedding, or their friends, and they think they can plan a wedding, and they find out that they can't do the basic part of the business, which is planning. So we basically hate all wedding planners, they call us. There's a few that are good. So if anyone's listening, if your wife or if you wanted to be a wedding planner,
Get to know your people.
be good to your rental company and do what your core business is. Plan every day. Just keep planning and planning and planning until you know it like the back of your hand.
Have you ever showed up to a job site and left because of how shitty people are?
Oh yeah, only once.
Yes, I knew this.
Oh, I gotta hear the story.
I gotta ask these questions.
Only once. So in Utica, we have a big Bosnian community, and they're the best people to deliver for. They love helping. They love feeding you and stuff. I love the Bosnians, and actually it's Bosnians and Ukrainians. There's a lot in Utica, except this one person show up. I tell them, this is a frame tent. I say, we need a water source to fill up the water barrels. And so we show up, the tent's halfway over the sidewalk. And when you're halfway over the sidewalk, you need a permit. They're also in this really, really horrible neighborhood, and their house is the only one that looks beautiful. Everywhere else is just destroyed. And so nothing's going to be safe. The water is coming out drips at a time. It's going to take 2 days to fill up these water barrels. And I just got fed up. I'm like, listen, leave me a bad review or we're leaving. I'm sorry. And he's like, why? I'm like, your house is beautiful. You guys are really nice, but this neighborhood sucks and I can't fill my water barrels. And he's like, all right. So he left me a bad review. I responded to it. Next day, someone comes in and says, I saw your bad review. But I totally agree with you. I wouldn't have done the job in that neighborhood either.
And that's justifiable. And now, so if people wanted to connect with you out in your area, or let's say if they wanted to just reach out, you said it was called a
Patreon.
A Patreon. If they wanted to get with that, how would they find you?
I'm called the Tent Guy on Patreon. So my YouTube is the Tent Guy. I have a YouTube channel kind of like yours as well called How I Started, and that's just interviewing other business owners about things because I didn't want to water down the content of the Tent channel. And then on TikTok, I am Real World Side Hustles.
Okay. And then let's say, do you have a limit of how many people can be on your Patreon?
Yes, I tiered them. I don't want to have so many people. You know, like
You can only answer the phone so much.
yeah.
And I assume people on the West Coast don't understand East Coast time. I deal with that all the time.
Right. No, but there's still. So I found I originally had my phone call tier to 12 people, and I'm at 11. I'm like, all right, this is actually I can handle this. So I opened up a second tier for a little more money for 12 more people, and
Okay.
you can sign up for that and you can cancel anytime. And again, people like I feel very humble about it. I feel very, very weird about it. I don't even mention it on any of my YouTube videos that I have a Patreon. People find it if they want it.
Sure. Let's see now with the games. Okay, so a lot of our rental companies here, I just find it to be like really trashy games, like because they build them themselves, and these people are not carpenters, right?
Right.
Do you know Connect Four,
Yeah.
right? So like these people, like it's supposed to be a circle, and like it's just a I don't know, a hexagon, and then the other one's a square, and they
Right.
just kind of decided they were gonna take a sawzall or something and
Yeah.
hope and pray they can make a circle. Do you buy your stuff? Do you build your stuff? How do you do it?
So for my normal games like Can Jam and that, if I had that, I would buy the one off of Amazon.
Yeah.
I paid someone to make my
Ladder ball.
no, I made that. That one's easy. That's just PVC pipe.
Sure.
You know, and the stuff to attach it. The one we throw bean bags, cornhole.
Cornhole.
I paid someone to do that because I know if I was gonna make it, it was gonna turn all jacked up. So I paid someone to make that.
How much do you rent your cornhole out for?
$20.
And you bought, I'm assuming, like a $250 one.
I went stupid on that. There's really nice ones for like $100.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I spent about $250 because I got like my logo on it, and I got it from some guy who just does it out of his garage.
Sure.
If I were to do it again, I would just buy a $100 one that's really nice and put my own logo on it for $10.
Yeah, I feel like people should start renting their cornhole stuff out, just
They
because.
totally should.
I mean, now
Hey,
what?
David, you should send him a picture of that cornhole that your daughter made.
I will do
Have
that.
him license, pay you like $5, $10 or whatever to license it. It's a drinking cornhole.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I've seen them.
Oh, there
So-
it's my daughter made it, and it's dangerous.
I think
Let's say it's dangerous. Yeah, we played that.
I'm pretty close. I'm pretty good at that game in the first
Yeah.
place, and then we stood pretty close, so I just
Right.
made everybody drink a shit ton.
Awesome. We have this thing we call it human-sized beer pong, which is just 6 garbage cans on each side from Ace. So they're red, and they don't get used for garbage. They only get used, and you just throw soccer balls, and then
I
you have
wondered
your,
what you were throwing at him.
Yeah.
and you just have your drink in your hand. Some
You
stupid
have to
people,
bounce them.
whatever they want to do, it's their rules. They rented
Okay.
it.
That's
Some-
true.
Some people are stupid, and they like, how do you fill up an entire garbage can with beer? It's like no. That's just representing you.
Hey,
They get it in, you move it, and you just take a sip of your beer that's in your hand.
And you just put kegs in that bad boy. Let's go. Power
Yeah.
hour.
Oh, you got to finish that whole keg.
Yeah, the whole
depending on
keg.
the size of the garbage can, that's like pretty close to a barrel.
Yeah.
So, 55-gallon drums, baby. Let's do it. Say, do you rent out like smokers for your people or anything?
So we were thinking about getting smokers and things, but no caterers ever called for it. So the catering equipment we have is charcoal grill, propane grill, convection oven, and we got burners that will burn like a 40 quart pot. That's really all that's
Usually the
happening.
people who are going to smoke are probably usually the, people who are doing travel barbecue anyway, and they probably have their own smokers.
Yeah, if you're hiring someone for your wedding for a smoked barbecue, you're hiring that person that does that every day. These caterers are just, they may do Italian one day, they may do French another day, but they're not really the barbecue specialists.
And so you do, and I think like that's the thing is most people don't understand that people spend on weddings, right? They spend like crazy. I don't know what the average wedding is anymore. I know it used to be like 20-something thousand just for the average wedding.
I think it's dumb. I think it's so dumb. And I don't tell people who call me this either, but I think renting stuff is stupid. I would never go rent tables and chairs.
Right.
And people just are renting them from me all the time. I got wine barrels that people rent for like $50 a piece. I'm like, why? Why are you renting these wine barrels? Like, you really need a wine barrel at your wedding? Like,
Because it looks cool.
it's just so weird.
I remember my cousin had to have an ice sculpture. And I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. And she goes, well, when am I ever going to have an ice sculpture again? And I went, why the fuck
When
do you
ever
need it?
one? So,
Right.
yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing with prices of stuff here. My wife walks around and she goes, I would never pay $70 for that TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you're not our customer.
Right.
Our customers will pay $70 for that TV because I've sold 8 of them.
So where do you find your stuff? Like when you're trying
So,
to find stuff for people to break?
We've been very fortunate because we're the only one really in the area. I mean, there have been a few that have opened up within a couple hours of us, but so she has deals with Goodwill and Salvation Army that we buy from them in bulk. She works with probably 5 or 6 other thrift shops, and she's constantly looking for more. She works with probably 6 or 7 local bars where she gets all of their liquor bottles.
Mm.
There's a company in town that they make some kind of tumbler type machine to push glass through. And they got a hold of us a couple weeks ago, and they're like, yeah, we have a bunch of glass. Would you buy it? So they're selling us their glass at dirt cheap prices, and they have some crazy amount, like 28,000 glass jars of every different size.
Wow.
So she's paying, pennies on the dollar for that. She's done a great job at just sourcing different places, and every place that she uses, they absolutely love what we do. So, I mean, if somebody else opened up in the area, it would be tough for them to cut into our business, honestly.
Right. How many? So I've researched your business. I've looked into it before. I'm like, that'd be cool in my area. Do you think there's some sort of population density where it needs to pop off, or?
I think honestly, as long as you have over 150,000 people, it's doable. The Grand Rapids metro area, we're like 250 maybe ish.
Yeah, I'd say, but you have a huge radius at that point.
We do. I mean, we also, we draw from Kalamazoo, we draw from Lansing. I mean, there's one in Okemos now, but we get people as far as Indiana, Illinois, Ohio that come to us because we offer a great product here, and it's a good price. A lot of the places around, they'll charge you literally $20 a person to walk in the door.
Mm.
Here, you can, if you walk in with 4 people, you can pay as cheap as $50 for an entire package.
Right.
Divided by 4 people, you're what, at $17 a piece ish?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cost effective, and there's ways to do it cheaper and there's ways to do it more expensive. Dawn had an appointment yesterday. That lady came in with a bunch of her realtor friends, and, it was kind of for her birthday, and they spent over $500.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We try.
Thank you.
It's like,
Now, the question I always hate getting on TikTok is, what about insurance?
So I know with our insurance, part of it goes off of what our sales are on the year.
Okay.
So like the first year, because we were new, I think we paid, I don't know, let's say $3,000 for that year. And we were only open, we opened July 6th of 19. So of course, year 2, we got shut down in March because of COVID. And right the time we were starting to open again, end of May, the insurance was due, and it was probably up to $4,500, maybe $5,000 at that point. With what we did last year, we're paying, I don't know, $6,000-$7,000 in insurance for the year.
Okay, so they're basing it on your sales and obviously the exposure.
Correct.
The amount of
There's a rate for the exposure.
You don't have it's not necessarily significantly higher because you basically increased your capacity by 2.5.
Right.
so now that we're talking about insurance, and I never even thought about it because I know you hate the question, but now I have to ask, because now my brain starts to think, and this is what I hate. Like, I always want people just to go out and do business, right? Just go do it and fucking figure it out later. Like, I got lucky in real estate because I was stupid and it just worked out, right? But I will, So now, do you have to have insurance for like wells and septics, and in case you damage people's property?
So not really. No. In the contract, we just say like you're supposed to mark where stuff is. We can't see under your ground. If you don't mark it, then we don't know it's there.
Okay.
The city may say something different. So there are some towns in our area where you have to call dig safe. That's what it's called in New York.
Yep.
To come out, the city will say something different, but their own lines, no. Like I've put a hole through someone's sprinkler system, and they're all mad at me. I'm like, how am I supposed to know that's there? Like, no, I'm not paying for that. I'm not fixing it. If you would have spray painted it, we would have avoided it.
Yep.
And then you point to it in the contract. And they're like, they didn't read the contract, but it's in there. They signed it.
Yeah. Let's see. And then now I have a million questions. Sorry. So you bought your first tent or so. Were you on your own? Were you living at home still? Where were you keeping your shit?
My mom's garage.
I'm 33 and my mom now has 500 boxes of flooring right now, 2 refrigerators. Like my mom's
Right.
garage is literally my storage. So yeah.
Yeah, so I was in my mom's garage, and then I took it over, and then I bought a carport from like Harbor Freight or something, like a green carport.
Yep.
And then put stuff in there, and then I bought my own house, and we had like, they called it a two-stall garage, but it was like 1.5 with one big door. And I filled that up, and then I lucked out. I saw like this big giant like 50,000 square foot building, and I called the realtor, and I'm like, can I just get like 5,000 square feet of that? He goes, no, they wanted the whole thing, but I own a building that you could do that with. So I went to go look at his building, and it was a piece of crap building, but it was dry, and he just had this really long building that was completely open. It used to be some manufacturing facility, and I just had to build a wall to separate myself off because there was already 2 people in. They built their walls. I built my wall. Now I'm in, and I was paying 10 cents a square foot for 3,000.
Shit.
So yeah, I was paying like close to nothing. And then I saw a warehouse, this group of warehouses, and I knew the guy was a dirtbag. He never paid his taxes and stuff.
Best kind of guy.
Yeah. So, and his wife was a realtor. So I just kept messaging them every month, like, hey, just seeing about that warehouse if you're interested in selling. And then I contracted her to sell our house because we were moving. And so I kept a relationship there. And then he didn't pay his taxes. So he lost one building. So he sold it to keep the other 2. And then he didn't pay his taxes again. So he called me and was like, oh, we're ready to sell. So he'd keep his 3rd building. So I got 12,000 square foot warehouse for 70 grand.
Oh, shit.
He didn't keep up on it. So, we had to make it functionable on the inside. The outside's still not, but that didn't matter as much as the inside.
Sure. As long as your stuff stays dry and safe, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So you just kind of, you grew naturally into space.
Yeah. So, and this is one of the businesses where you don't necessarily need to take out loans. You just need to save money and buy stuff. I did take out a loan. I put my truck up as collateral for $20,000 loan so I could get all that wedding stuff. Because I booked an entire year of weddings without owning anything. Over the winter, I just booked it, and I was like, yeah, I'll figure out a way to buy it. So I would take the deposits, and then I got that loan, and then I bought it, and I was able to accomplish everything. But this business, you don't necessarily have to until you start getting to the big scale stuff. Like if you buy, there's some tents that you may pay $2 million for. You're getting
a tent?
Yeah. My friend in Rochester has one. It's a double-decker tent. It's got 2 floors to it.
Shut the up.
Yeah, but it rents out for $450,000. So
how often does he rent this thing?
a few times a year.
No shit.
Yeah,
Nick, you want to buy a tent?
This is stuff I didn't even know about.
The first time he did it, he needed help. It was for Trump's inauguration. It was the media tent. We're setting up this giant, massive tent in the middle between the Washington monuments there, the Lincoln monuments there, the White House is right over here, and we're just setting up this tent so that Fox News and CNN and stuff can be in it. It was surreal, but yeah, they paid $450,000 to use it for the weekend.
For a weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, he hired this like crew of Mexicans because that's what they do. They just drive around setting up PGA Tour tents and stuff.
Yep.
And he just hired them to like throw it up, and there was maybe 30 people that he had hired to come down and do all that. So it's a big undertaking, but
So man, that is, I mean, that's a long time to get your money back. I mean, that's only 4 rentals, but that's really, you guys need investors? Question mark.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. All right. I could buy a few tents.
Yeah. So there's all levels to the rental game. There's, just the dude doing, backyard parties or just tables and chairs. And then there's the dudes doing the PGA tours and the presidential events and stuff. And, the Hollywood events, red carpets where, there's, you could literally make $10 million on one job. You're there for maybe 2 weeks and before and 2 weeks after, but all you're doing is putting up tents and making 10 million.
Yeah. A month and a half. And what would you make?
So it's usually about half. So most rental companies, if you made $1 million in a year, 500,000 is profit. Kinda.
Sure. Minus the purchase. And
Yeah. So when you're obviously purchasing stuff. So that's what a lot of people like mess up is, you made $500,000 profit. You spent $250,000 to buy new stuff. That was still profit though. The 500,000 is still profit. You just chose to use half of it. That's not part of your expenses.
Sure.
So it's kind of like that. Once you get to those big scales though, I think the margins are probably closer to 25% instead of 50.
Sure. Which is still, I mean, you have to hire 30 guys to put up a tent. That's just, I mean, that's crazy. I didn't even know there was double-decker tents.
Yeah, they're insane.
Now I want one. Just, put it up over my whole entire lot of my house.
As always, we're learning things as well as other people learning things.
Yeah.
I always thought it'd be cool. So say you live in Arizona, there's not much rain. You can get one of these, they're called structures. To you just think it's a tent, but it's more of a structure. It's like this whole mathematical system to put it up, square everything. And it's made to stay up for a long time. I think that'd be cool just to put up in Arizona and have that as your house. Cause you could buy one of those. You can buy like a 60 by 100. So what is that? 60,000 square feet.
Yeah.
You could probably buy that for $100,000 and put it up. And that's a really big house.
And I mean, there's you can get mobile ACs. You can Airbnb the shit out of those. Dude, why don't you just do that for Airbnb? Just put up a bunch of living tents. It'd be like a yurt, but a little different.
He lives in New York.
Yeah, New York's different.
Yeah, but you could take it down in the winter. Literally just do summer, have a campground.
You get portable heaters in the winter.
Right.
Yeah, let's say the snow on top though.
Yeah.
Speaking of Airbnb, I know you do real estate. Are any of them Airbnbs?
None of mine.
None. They're all just straight normal rentals.
That is correct.
Have you thought about Airbnb?
I think about it all the time.
I
have a friend of mine that owns, as many as I do, all Airbnb, and he just talks about, it's 3 times the amount of profit and 1/10 the amount of work. And I'm like, man, that seems all right. But so I'm not a slumlord in this sense, right? But you talk about, you buy the Chinese tables, right? I buy the Chinese house, right? It is Formica countertops. It is a basic cabinet. It is, I don't have walnut. I don't have it's a basic, chipboard thing. It's got carpet. I've been upgrading some to laminate or LVP and stuff like that. I found a person to do tile, so I'll change my bathroom to tile here and there, but plastic surround stuff. I'm a basic live-in type of a thing, right? I'm also one of the lowest priced person around, so I don't get the highest money, but I get the highest quality of tenant because I offer for a great price, and I'm very picky.
Right.
So, yep.
So when you buy that house in South Haven, that'll be your Airbnb.
Yeah. Yep. But it'll be Airbnb for me, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because I don't have granite in my house.
Yeah.
I'm not putting granite in my Airbnb. And my brain can't think of that. My buddy, his brain he goes, and I walk into his places and it's absolutely beautiful. It looks like a magazine thing. And I'm like, God, this, he spent $300 on a fucking light chandelier type thing or whatever that comes down and it looks great. But I'm like, I spent $15 on a boob light, right?
Right.
I just, my brain doesn't comprehend how to do that. And they're spending $400 on a freaking round, beautiful table with legs that come off of it. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not an interior designer. Right.
Right. I never got into real estate when I was younger because I didn't want to deal with tenants, and I didn't understand, like, all right, so there's a cash flow of, a little bit per month. But what I really didn't understand when I was younger was like, the more important thing is 15 to 30 years from now, it's paid off and you just get to sell it. Plus also now I'm more understanding the home equity line of credit. You can use that house to buy more houses. So I didn't understand a lot of this stuff when, well, you can teach me that then. So
I'm just saying, like, HELOC, you can only get on, like, I'm having a struggle, and everybody in my area, you can only get a HELOC on one property, like on your primary. So yes, you could use that to buy and then flip and pay off and do that. So you have one extra. Like, I would go portfolio and put a bunch of them in and then get a big portfolio loan, which is like a line of credit, right?
Oh,
So,
okay, cool.
yeah.
But so once we got an Airbnb though, I was like, wow, this is so much better than like renting, because the first 7 days of at least our property, the mortgage, everything's paid for, all expenses are paid for. The next 21 days is just profit.
Yep.
And I acknowledge that, my Airbnb is slightly different, where I'm getting a way higher rate per night than a lot of people.
It's not different in the Airbnb world that I'm seeing, right? Like, you bought it that way. If you did it as a normal rental, it would take you in theory like 25 days, right? So only a few days would be profit. The reason I haven't expanded a heck of a lot more is because I was dumb and fortunate to where my tops paid for my, if I had a duplex, my top paid for my bottom, right? Like, right. I was buying a 2% deal type thing where basically I was getting double my mortgage, kind of coming in. And that's the only way I would buy for the longest time. And now that the market's so crazy, I haven't bought, oh man, well, I mean, I bought some flips, but like, I haven't bought a hold in 2 years maybe, right? Because I can't find that deal, so if I'm, if I'm paying $100,000, I need to get $2,000 a month in rent, right? And so my duplexes, I was doing that. Now I can't do that.
Right.
So, yeah. I don't know. I never changed my business mindset, I guess, on that. I just kept trying to find that deal. So
right.
And
so we are going to start buying. When I say we, I know we were talking about this brief off air. Yeah. I'm a partner with 2 other people in the Airbnb and real estate stuff. I'm kind of hands off. I'm kind of more the money people. They do all the work. But so we are looking for, rentals, just the traditional rental.
I'll get you with a friend of mine, because actually I looked at some Airbnbs out in New York. They're on some water. The lady has a duplex and a single family. It's absolutely beautiful on some water, and it was only like $160,000 over in the Rochester area. And I was like, that's insanely cheap, right? Anything over on water here is just going to cost me a crap ton.
Right, 400,000 or 600,000
at least, right?
Yeah.
And so I have a very good friend of mine that's in Manhattan, right? And he's now moving, so it's like, hey, I don't want to be too far away type thing if I have to drive in. And I manage everything, I own everything, I do everything myself. And so to give control to somebody else, to be honest, I just don't trust people.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
I tell you I'm stupid, and I'll take faults for my own stupidity. But like, if you're stupid, I just can't deal with it.
Right.
Right. Like, so I give you credit for, like, Airbnb is the way to go, man. Like, I tell people this, but my problem is it's also really hard because I don't know about your area, but my area, like, he talks about South Haven, which is a beach town here. And like, they change their Airbnb stuff all the time, right? They just get pissed at them. Up in another town of ours, like 90% of the houses in the area became Airbnb. So they're like, yep, we lost all of our income for schooling. We lost this, like, F Airbnb, see you, get out of here. Right. Like,
so around my area, there's no like major destination besides the Adirondacks and actually Cooperstown for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It's just kind of small towns. My Airbnb is the outlier because there's nothing around. What it is 30 people come. It sleeps 30. 30 people come to hang out with each other. The place is the destination. Not a lot of places is you go to the Airbnb because there's stuff around.
Yep.
So, but then I've been talking to people in the same town. They've got these Airbnbs on the back roads and stuff. And I'm like, who's renting your place? And they got it out like 23 nights a month.
Yep.
And they're like, people from the city, and they just come up and they sit on the porch and they're like, look at that.
Yeah. Right. And that's just it. Like, excuse me. I was making fun of a friend of mine. He goes to the Dude Ranch out in like Montana. And I'm like, why the hell would you go there? I'm like, you're paying to go shovel shit. And he's like, well, yeah, but you get to, go to this people's 50,000 acre farm and like ride a horse and go wrangle cattle. And I'm like, so they've made you pay to be an employee. Like, good for you, right? Like, I'm like, how do you not see this? Yeah, but they feed me breakfast. And I was like, dude, I'll fucking feed you breakfast. You go mow my lawn. Like, I don't care.
Right.
But and that's the thing. Like, I've never stayed in an Airbnb. I don't know if you have, right? But like, because of who I am, I won't pay that kind of money, right? I just nope. And every time I look at an Airbnb, I'm like, all right, it's $100 a night. That's fine. And then I get hit with, oh, hey, $400 cleaning fee and a $50 fucking deposit and a this and a that. And I'm like, God, next thing you know, it's my $700 turns into $1,500. And I'm like, no, hard pass.
Right. Yeah. The cleaning fee is hidden on there. We have a $400 cleaning fee because it takes
So long.
10 hours to clean.
Yeah. It's a huge space.
But so with Airbnb, we've also started doing Airbnb management. Like we got this millionaire who just bought a house just straight up. I'm like, so you're getting a loan or whatever? He's like, no, I'm just buying it. And so we're gonna run his property for 20% of it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be listed on our own thing. And then every month we just send him his 80% after expenses and stuff. And then we're also gonna try the Airbnb arbitrage where we find nice apartments and do it. And I've tried it, but I haven't really met with the people. What you got to do is you got to go in and tell them, like, we're going to keep your place better than any tenant. Your place is always going to be show ready. And when we hand the keys back over to you, it's going to probably be better than when you gave it to us. Like, we are better than just a normal tenant.
And you got to sell them on the fact that you're guaranteeing them rent, right? So a friend of mine, okay, so he just landed, and what he's doing, and this is a suggestion and tip for everybody that's watching, traveling nursing is a huge thing. Right? So he went to the city and was like, hey, they can't even get places for hotels. These people need to stay for 6 months, whatever. So he's like, hey, I'll rent it to you for this amount of, like, you guarantee me $1,800 and I'll keep this place open. When the people come in, they pay him $3,200. So he's like, hey, I don't charge you. And basically they're just guaranteeing that he has this money, but he's getting $3,200 a month, from.
Who did you go to did you go to the hospital for this or did you go to the city?
He went to the hospital and the city.
Okay.
So both. Right. And it's just because of these traveling, and there's Facebook groups, there's websites for traveling nurses that are constantly looking for stuff. And so it's just find what your niche is. And when you talk about renting other people, because I have people hit me up, hey, I'll rent your place. You got to guarantee me a heck of a lot more, right? Like, I know, hey, I should be able to get, let's say $1,000. I need you to come in at 1,500 because you're telling me you're going to make 2,800, right? Guarantee. You have nothing into this. I still have a mortgage. I still have all this. Guarantee me 1,500 and we'll talk, right? Like, make it worth my time.
Right.
So if not, I'll just take my own headache and deal with my own problems.
Yeah, no, I got you on that.
Yeah.
So we're going in just offering rent because obviously then we have to pay the electric and the heat and whatever. So we're just offering what you're asking for rent, because then electric, heat, internet, those are all things we got to do. And then we got to keep the guests happy and we got to furnish it. But anyway, let's get off that. Before the show started, you mentioned my video about not reading books.
Yeah. You and I both agree upon that, man.
Yeah. I mean, over here on my bookshelf, I have like 2 real estate books, which I have not read.
Yeah.
They were cheap. I've learned more from YouTube and, things like your guys' channel and actually just talking to you now and Facebook groups. Like, I'm not a fan of these business books at all.
I'm not a reader and an implementer, right? Like, I have to be hands-on and do it. And then it clicks with me, right? Again, I told you I had a mentor. So it's like, when I first started out, I didn't know anything. My first lease was a lined piece of paper. I'm not lying. Like, it said, I, Nick, rent this house for this amount of money. And I signed the bottom. It was like a bill of sale, right?
How many people laughed at you for that?
Every fucking person I ever tell, right? Like, they're just like, you got to be the dumbest person I met. So my wife's grandfather introduced, he's like, hey, I have a friend that owns some real estate. Would you be interested in talking with him? I'll buy you breakfast. And I was like, hey, I'm poor. Hell yeah, I'll eat breakfast. And then this guy, if he owns one, he's known more than me. Come to find out, he owned, like 650, right? And just, and in the beginning, he's like, hey, if you ever have questions, you can call me. So I'd call him, and like a day or two later, he might call me back, right? Like, hey, what's up? And, now he actually just called me. He called me out because I hadn't called him in a while. He's like, hey, did I do something? Hey, we used to talk twice a week. Now we don't talk. And I'm like, sorry, I'm just really busy. But, finding somebody that knows the answer, right? Like, he was in the game for 45 years or something like that. There's not really a situation that he hasn't gone through, right?
Right.
The pandemic's kind of new. And so he asked me he's like, hey, how long does it take to get a tenant out? What's this? And I was like, I kind of walk him through that. But like, if I have stupid questions of, hey, they found wipes, how do I tell the tenant they have to pay for this, right? Well, you write a fucking note that says, hey, while getting the toilet augured, we found feminine products. This is going to be charged back to you at this price.
Right.
And you send it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? Because I don't know. I don't know how to do that. So just finding people that know how to do it is perfect.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes if you don't know people, sometimes you do have to pay.
Right. And I've never read a book that tells me how to do that, right? I've never had a book that says, hey, step one, make sure you have a lease that's an actual legal document that states more than just your name and an address, right?
Right. No, all these books have like a basic general overview and kind of an inspirational, not all of them, but a lot of them are kind of like try to get you motivated. But we know that most people just read them and then throw them on the shelf. There's not really books that tell you, how to deal with an asshole or how to deal with someone who shit all over your bounce house.
That's true. And I tell people, okay, so I'm an asshole through and through. I'm okay with it.
That's why we're friends.
The one thing, is the worst thing that happened to me is I did an eviction, right? My first eviction. I'm scared as shit, right? And I have a mentor that's kind of like holding my hand. He's like, look, you did everything right. Here's what it is. Go in with your paperwork. Know all your shit. And so when I go to the court and I'm like, hey, he did this, he said this, he threatened this, and the guy didn't show, which is fine. But when the judge looks at you and goes, I don't give a shit what you two said to each other. I don't care about words. Literally, that's not what we're here for. We're here for this. At that point, I knew literally I can say anything to anybody, right? So now if you're an asshole to me, I literally just look at a tenant and tell him, go fuck yourself. Like, this is what it is. Bye. Have a good day. I don't need to be your best friend. I don't need to be anything, just as much as you had with the person that you're not willing to put a tent up. Like, I have no legal obligation to that, right? My job is to put a roof over your head and make it safe and, do this. Like, my job is not to give you, oh, hey, my granite countertop isn't in. Fuck you. Right? Like, oh, that person got new carpet. Yep. That person also had a flood in their fucking unit and you didn't, right? Like, I'm sorry I had to put them in a hotel for 3 nights and their whole life got uprooted. But yeah, you're right. They got carpet,
We ran into it this weekend with a session.
Yeah.
So it was a group of 5 that they didn't get a hold of us to say, hey, we're going to have 6 instead. And as between 5 and 6, that there's a difference there. If you got 5, you get 1 room. If you got 6, you get 2 rooms, plus you get more glass. And we got 2 negative reviews out of that because we didn't just kiss their ass and say, hey, it's okay, you got an extra person and you didn't tell us about it. We'll just let you have, what you haven't paid for yet.
Yeah.
And, everybody has the right to go do that. But at the same time, it's not that hard to read. And if you can't read, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but an 11-year-old who really wants to break stuff.
Right.
Right.
Can't I pretend they're
in their insurance, they can't have anything 12 and less.
13.
13 and less.
You gotta be 13 or over.
Yeah.
This is just reminding me of a story. Those things people put over their driveways, it's like an arch, like a Western looking arch kind of thing.
Yeah.
Last year, one of my employees took one down and they called me and like, you're going to pay for that. I'm like, I'm not going to pay for that. Like, you took it down. I'm like, did you build it DOT certified? What if a fire truck had to come in or something? I'm like, my trucks are DOT certified. My trucks are all legal. If you build something over your driveway, you better be able to allow vehicles in. And they went back and forth with me and they left me a bad review. But it's just like, no, I'm not bending to you just because you think your arch is pretty. You built it yourself, but you were dumb. If you would have had a fire, your whole family would be dead because the fire truck, it would have came down on them.
Right. Well, and that's, we're dealing with a situation right now where in a 12 unit building, the water heater went out. Okay. The water heater is 2 years old and there's a power vent up top and there's a chip shortage, still a chip shortage. And so you can't get this power vent. So they ended up calling the manufacturer and the fastest we can get it is next week, Monday. Right. So these people are going to be without hot water for 7 days and everybody's just instantly, I want credit. I want credit. I want credit. Like, where the hell is your entitlement? That, like, no. And granted, the owner's like, hey, give them a little bit of this. And I was like, no, like, you just because your microwave doesn't work for 2 days doesn't mean I'm giving you a credit. Just because this happened doesn't mean I'm giving you a credit. Like, I don't know where this credit shit came from because it's like, do I get extra if I sorry.
Oh, yours too. Mine just went
was,
off as
so,
well.
Do I get extra? Speaking of the guy I'm talking the story, do I get credit for having everything perfect for the month? No, right? Like I get what I have, right? So it's a frustration. It's a back and forth thing, right? And I'm not afraid to tell people, hey, you just don't get it.
I think the only time I've ever asked for credit in something where I've rented is like I remember one time the fridge where I was living went out, and I mean it was just a house I was renting. And, I called the landlord. He said, you know what, I can probably get to it in a few days, or if you stay under a certain price or whatever, buy a fridge, if you can get out there today, and I'll basically just take it off your rent.
Yep.
Send me a receipt when you send the rent, and I'll so you spend $150 on it and your rent is $750, you send me a check with $500 and then that receipt, I'm like, you're good to go.
Yeah. So
I got a question. As someone who owns a bunch of units, and I know you said you have some stuff in your mother's garage, do you keep backup of things so that you don't have to rush to Lowe's and stuff?
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the quick answer is yes. If I'm in Lowe's or Home Depot and I find something on clearance, right? Like right now, I was just in my garage. I have a shower. I have a full shower system, right? Handle all that. I have a faucet. Not much. I usually keep supply lines because I get tired of going to the store for a supply line, and you usually you change out the shut off in the supply line, so you find the things that you constantly do. Toilet fill valves. Really, I kind of have a stock of those,
Right?
Because the things that go out in a constant. But
The easy stuff that you got to replace a lot.
I don't really. I mean, flooring, just because honestly, I bought it all for 76 cents a square, and
Right.
it was on super clearance. That's the only reason I have it. My tile, I mean, because I was doing every bathroom at the same time, because it was just I found a guy that would do it for $500 for an entire bathroom, and my materials were on sale. I think I got tile for 45 cents a square. Like, it was just stupid cheap, right? So that's the only reason I have it, I guess. But
Right.
I don't keep everything on a general sense.
Right. That makes sense though. Like it's cheaper, or you find it cheaper to buy all of the tile at once. And
Right.
you may not be doing that bathroom next week. You may be doing it next year, but you still have it at a cheap price.
Yeah, and it's I do generic colors, right? So I mean, right now I have gray flooring, right? My tile is all a tannish, right? So it's just going to match everything on a constant basis. So
Yeah.
and then I do the bathroom floor and tiles, stuff like that. So it's just but I don't have the cement board, right? I'll tell you that. Like, I don't have everything, but I have just the
Right.
basics. So
Here's a question I've never really asked or seen anywhere. So you own a house and you're renting it out. Are you responsible for the lawn and the snow blowing or plowing, or is there a way around it?
in my lease, it states whether the owner or the tenant is. All of my single families, it's the owner or the tenant responsibility.
Okay.
My multis, right? So some of my duplexes, actually, it's really weird. I have one of them where I do the lawn and I don't do the snow. The other one I do the snow and I don't do the lawn. My my larger complex things, I'm responsible for all of that.
Right.
Yep.
So say like a duplex, do you just give someone off like $50 a
No.
month? No.
Just
You
make it tenant responsibility, right? You
You're
guys,
you're
share.
half and you're half.
No, just I don't even stipulate that, right? Like, just get it done. If I have to
Right.
come over and get it done, both of you are paying, right? So for the longest time, I had a lady and a couple. So the couple used to just do it on a constant, right? Now I have a lady and a guy and a son. So they basically just take care of the snow and stuff like that. I don't know how they work it out, but I just tell them to work it out, right? Like, you guys figure it out. Like, if I come over, it's going to cost you. That's just all I tell them.
So you just put that in the lease.
Yep.
for-
It's a circle. It's a line, it says, top of my page or whatever. It's hey, electricity, landlord or tenant, right? Who's responsible for that? Tenant. Heating, fuel. I have a boiler and a couple. I'm responsible. I pay for that. I could sub it out and, everybody gets an eighth of it or a 12th of it, depending on the building size. Duplex, right? I could split that. Everything's just whatever you say it is, right? As long as you set the terms out there, that's what they're responsible for. So
Wait, go back to that heater boiling one. So how many units is that one?
so one of them's an 8 unit, one of them's a duplex.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's not like a separate heating system for each thing. So
Right.
that's why you're responsible for it.
I'm responsible because I haven't made it their responsibility.
Okay, but you could, but like you'd have to just kind of set a set amount for it.
Nope. So you can do set amount, yes. And that's the smart way to do it, is just do a set amount. Because we manage a 7 unit and everybody just gets a set amount. You could do, because all of those are the exact same square footage, you could literally just say, hey, this is split 1/8, right? Every unit pays 1/8 of the bill. You can run it through a system out there. They resend out so you pay the bill and then you send it out to the tenants, they pay it, and then that company just sends you a check.
Okay, so that's how you handle it when you got 8 units, but only one heating system.
Correct.
Because it would be very expensive to get 8 separate heating systems for that,
Correct. Yep.
so they could have their own bill.
Yep.
Okay, how would an electric situation work like that? Do you have it so there's 8 different electric meters, or
All of my places have a separate electric. Everything I manage has separate electric.
so did you buy them like that, or did
Yep.
you okay, you never
Yep.
bought like a 4 unit and then had to convert it from 1 electric to 4?
I have not, but there's actually a little device that you can put on to see how much each unit is using for electric, and it kind of just goes on top of your panel, because each unit would have, each unit wouldn't have their own panel, but like you can get it set up so that way you could just split
Yeah.
that bill.
Each unit would have these breakers, this unit would have these breakers.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And then, but it could all go onto 1 meter. So then you could just officially like change that. So, say really, and most people aren't going to fight this type of stuff, right? Like, this is what it is. Hey, and I don't know, I should be charging more because I give free heat, but I don't. Right. But, my heat this year on my 8 unit, I mean, gosh, I got up to like $1,100 during the winter. Right. So it's a shit ton of coin. So,
Well,
Funny
we're
part
paying.
is, even though they're probably more expensive, I always rented places where it was like heat included and
Yep.
Heat included,
gas
but the
included
rent's a
and
little
stuff
more.
like that, because it's like,
yep.
Yeah.
No, so and the word is called a utility rider. You could look that up if you want.
Okay, cool.
So,
Yeah, our Airbnb was $2,000 a month in oil, but that's because we didn't have smart things in there.
Sure.
We got a smart things in there, and I cut off the tabs on the back of one of the buttons because they could set it and then hit this one button and it would just stay at 82 no matter what. I cut off the tabs that connect to the circuit board.
Yep.
Can't hit set anymore. So now every 2 hours it drops back down. And but then oil tripled. So we're still at 2,000, but I'm feeling good about it because we're at 2,000, which means if oil was normal price, we'd be at 600 a month.
Sure. And I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know if you're allowed to get, I assume you don't have natural gas capabilities, but propane might be a cheaper option, right? Get that for like a backup type thing.
Right.
Or do electric heat, right? But electric heat's expensive as shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't know much about it, but we have this giant commercial boiler in the
Yeah.
barn. So I don't know. I'm assuming maybe that could change over to propane. I don't know. It's on natural gas right now.
You'd have to talk to your boiler guy or your HVAC company. But honestly, like, do you have AC in that place?
No.
So run mini splits. I mean, it's going to cost you like 12,000 square feet. It's going to cost you some coin, but mini splits, you can heat and cool. And then you get different zones and you get different things. And that's because you're going to take out your whole thing. I would look into something like that.
Right.
So, because in theory, we've done that.
And
So,
the mini split is just electric.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So, and then, right. If you've ever been into like a restaurant that has like a thing on top of the ceiling area that looks like a register, but you're like, it's
Yeah.
really high up there, that's a mini split.
Okay.
So, and you can put it into different rooms, again, different zones, things like that. So, with that
Right.
big, you can be like, hey, I want the basement to always be cold or whatever, because you don't need to heat that area. That's where the game room is, stuff like that. So,
Right. We're getting solar on our land.
I-
And my big question was like, so are we gonna be able to run power cords from the solar to our house? Like, no, you
Really?
can't do that.
oh, that sucks. Why?
No, there's a whole bunch of stuff involved. There's like, you can't just run solar through the house on a cord. There's something in between to regulate it, because you can't just keep flowing energy in there. Where's the energy going to go? No, they just put the solar on and it goes to some central station.
And
But it would've been
you're
cool.
just selling the solar.
We're getting paid for the use of our 15 acres.
Yep. I say, because the only other thing is, put like a battery system in, and then that way it could power your entire house. But
Yeah.
you've probably looked into all that. It's probably expensive.
Well, you can't find batteries right now, but no. So I am thinking in the future that we would take another part of our acres and do personal solar, and then
Sure.
be able to do something like that. Then definitely would switch to some sort of electric heat.
Oh
That'd
gosh,
be
yes.
awesome.
I mean, cut your bills so much.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm excited because, you have me wanting to like just go through my house. Like I have a gas powered leaf blower. I want to go rent that thing out now for like $30, right? Just here you go,
Right.
have fun. Like,
So my real world side hustles channel was supposed to just talk about side hustles, but then, I'm starting up my season this year intense. So I'm like, this is what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm going to make videos about.
Yep.
Is rental stuff. But so I'm going to keep doing that. But one of the ways I think making money, one of the best ways of making money, I think, is renting stuff, whether it's a house like you do, owning a house in Airbnb, renting land to whatever, renting tools, renting tents. There's whole websites for renting. If I had audio equipment or visual equipment, you could rent it and send it to people. Like owning something and renting it out is one of the best ways to make money, because it's eventually paid for and you're just much higher returns than throwing that in a 401k or whatever.
well, and that's really how I started out. Was, I've always been that kind of person in my life where it's like, all right, I have to pay for gas to get back and forth to school. This is back in time. How can I do that? Oh, hey, a friend of mine needs a ride. Hey, man, fill up my gas tank, right? And
Right.
my mom, go to my mom. Hey, I have to bring my brother. Okay, I'll pay your gas, or hey, I'll pay your car insurance. And then I have another friend. Hey, I'll pay. I'll give you money for gas every week. Like I've always, if I've had a bill, I've always found a way to get somebody else to pay it. In theory, like my cell phone bill. We have 5 people on our plan. My wife and I, we pay like $20 out of our entire plan because everybody else has to pay me for their part, right? They can go get their own for $90, or you can have mine for 60, right? Like I'm
Right.
saving you 30, you're paying me, and my bill, just because I have a business account, is cheap, right?
Right.
It's just how, and then when we got into our house, it's like, all right, how can I'd move somebody in, pay most of my rent or my mortgage, and then found a duplex where the upper paid for the lower, and it's like you're paying my mortgage and this getting paid, and it just kind of scaled from there.
Right.
Got lucky.
There's a group of apps that I want to use. My girlfriend's not too keen on it, but like just renting out your driveway or a piece of your yard for an RV or something.
Yeah, no, and that your space and all that, and then we're talking about renting out our pool because you can do it like by the hour.
What?
It's just, yeah. So there's a pool app where it's just, you can rent it out by the hour, and I'm like, oh, but that goes to the insurance question. What's my liability? Because that's the only reason I haven't bought a new house and rented out mine, because I'm like, oh, I'll probably sell this one because I don't want the insurance liability.
Right. Oh, I gotta look that up. Pool app. I'm picturing someone just has like a pool party or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? They come for, I don't know. It might be an hour, 3 hours, whatever it is, but yep, they rent out your pool.
Don't get any damn ideas. I'm not renting your pool.
Yes, you are.
I'm just coming over and using
That's
it.
freaking crazy.
I'm running it for you for some hot dogs and some beer.
That's a fact.
Okay.
I say.
There's
I
people
will bring
that-
hot dogs.
There's people that throw hot tubs on a trailer and rent those out.
I say one of the first people I knew as a landlord, when I was a kid, he kicked us out of the house or whatever. But yeah, he did mobile hot tubs.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Eric was a dick, but say, and
That's good to know. So I don't park in my garage anymore. I mean, it's only basically a 1-car garage with a little extra space. But
storage facility, baby.
that's exactly
so-
what I'm thinking is, maybe see if someone wants to store some stuff in it. I mean, if I pared down, I could park in it, but with the camping gear and
Right.
a lawnmower and a snow blower, and I don't have fancy, backpack powered gas. I have a gas powered leaf blower. I bought an electric one at a point, and it blew the leaves about half from where their starting location was, and I'm like, yeah, this
Right.
is
So
a better one.
I thought about that. Maybe you can speak to it a little bit. Do you have any properties that have a detached garage? Because then I was thinking that detached garage doesn't need to be part of the property. These two people don't need it.
That guy over there, his house that his mother lives in.
Yeah, she has a 3-car
detail.
garage, a detached 2-car garage, and then a pole barn.
Right. So he left. I didn't see him leave.
Yeah, he had to run downstairs real quick.
He had to pee.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, when he gets back, I'll ask the question again. I wanted to mention another business that I do.
Absolutely.
We don't really show much of it because it hasn't taken off yet, but it's called Nerf Wars and Jelly Ball.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we have inflatable bunkers and we go to people's backyards, and little kids 12 and under will usually do a Nerf war. And then Jelly Ball, which is these little tiny Orbeez, you fill them with water
Mhm.
and then it expands. And then there's these guns that shoot them. It's like a step down from paintball. And we do that. And I think literally anyone could do that. You don't need to have the inflatable bunkers. You could just make PVC bunkers with cloth in between the two pieces of PVC. And we get $350 a pop for 2 hours. And you could do a bunch of those a day. And that's just kind of a fun thing. So that's a new thing we've been trying to do.
I
You had
need
a
to
question
actually-
while you were gone.
Yeah, I didn't know you
I
were.
need to actually jump off, so I'm going to let go. But
See, Mike,
Adam, I may find you on TikTok and ask you some questions, because when you
May.
mentioned
you will.
possibly finding whatever they're called, auctions and stuff, because we're looking potentially for one thing that for summer camp for scouts. We used to have a family in there who had a friend who owned kind of like a rental. He let us basically borrow a 15 by 15 tent to use as extra shelter over summer camp. And they've always been like, oh, it'd be so great if we could do that again. But if I could find one I could buy for $150, $200, I'd be like, hey, let's buy this, 15 by 15 or 20 by 20. And
Yep. Just if you message me on TikTok in the comments, just put your mic from this show, because
Will do.
I don't look at the names. But if you message me on
Mine would be
mess-
hard to tell anyway, because I'm Tuscan Muppet.
Okay.
Say, yeah, no, just direct message him.
Yeah, that's what I was
Sorry,
going to do.
what was your question?
So my
Yeah.
question
Bye,
was,
guys.
see it, man. So any of your properties have a separated detached garage, and do you rent that separately to, because that's my thought. If I get a duplex, I'm not going to have these two people fight over the garage or whatever. I'm just going to rent that to a contractor who can just store his tools in it or whatever.
Do they? Yes. Do I? No. So, I have carports quite a bit. And so my higher end one, I charge the tenants an extra $35 a month to park their car.
Okay.
The other one, they get it for free because I'm a dumbass. But I should charge them. And I don't know, I'm a pushover as much as I could teach you. Doesn't mean I practice what I preach all the time.
Right.
So, but I mean, in one of my places, I have a, what is it, 36 by 24. It's a pretty big barn. and I keep most of my shit in the upper mezzanine.
Right.
Mom's garage, my other garage. Yeah, my stuff's all over.
What I want to get into is storage units. I
Yeah.
love the concept of that.
I just missed
You
out on some.
almost bought one.
Yeah, I just missed out on some. I mean, it was my own fault, but yeah, I have a friend. I have a bunch of friends that own a crap ton of them. So, there's not much to it, right? It's plain and simple. Know your numbers, and boom, there you go. But
No, I have a friend, and he pays for the program, and the program basically just does everything.
yep,
Like-
that's exactly it. I'm saying if you get the gated one where you have the vending machine where it gives you a lock and all that, it's perfect. So,
Right.
yep, you can be as hands off as you want. I mean, I have a friend that lives here, owns one in North Carolina, and has visited it on the purchase, and that's it.
Right. And just all automated.
Yep. So has cameras, right? So if he has to figure something out, like, if somebody damaged something or if he has to get something, yep, it's all taken care of.
Right.
Uses the same plow company. So, yep.
We just had to upgrade ours.
Camera system.
No, our storage unit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we went from like a 10 by 10 to, I want to say, a 10 by 30.
Jeez. Time to buy a building.
Well,
Right.
28,000 pieces of glass.
So,
Speaking of storage units, also there's a lot of rental companies who, warehousing is expensive. You might not have a garage. I know a lot of rental companies who just rent one of the storage units that can fit an RV, and they're pretty big ones. And then they take over the next one next to them. Or there's some people who only rent a 10 by 20 when they're smaller. One of the biggest companies I know, and they're currently making multi-millions a year. They started out of a storage unit and took over like the next 8 next to them, and then eventually got a warehouse. So like, if you want to get into some sort of rental company, you don't necessarily need to be afraid of storage. Just go get a storage unit.
and it sucks to pay the $100 a month, but if you're not making that, you shouldn't be renting a storage unit in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So, no, I mean, I don't know. I look at all different types of avenues, but then I always have to revert back to do what you know and do what, like, focus on your business, grow your business, right? Understand
Yeah,
what
exactly.
your business is, right? And then everything else from there, then figure out if you want to expand into something else.
Yeah. Don't, like, I'm in the rental business. I'm not going to go into the food business.
Right.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at how many more pieces of the pie of the rental business or the wedding or event business are there,
Yep.
which is how we got into the restroom trailers. Like, every wedding I'm setting up, I see the same old dude with his van and a restroom trailer. And I'm like, well, and he's there and he's out in 15 minutes and he makes $1,000. I'm like, all right,
It's crazy.
we're going to start doing this. This old dude's going to stop being at our tents. And so then we got it. And now, we're the old dudes at the tents, with the restroom trailer.
No, and that's like, how much do one of those trailers cost?
Oh, they cost a lot more now, as everything.
I've only seen one. I've only been inside one, and I was so happy to take a piss in that thing. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. Like,
way better than blue water and a pile of poop.
yeah, it was just
Yeah.
weird. Like, I mean, I had a sink and everything, and I'm sitting here like I was kind of half dancing in the damn thing.
So our first one we lucked out. There was some guy who canceled his order, so it would have been 24,000, but we got it for 20.
Sure.
Our second one, there was this inn near me, and they went under, and they just left their trailer there. They just defaulted on the loan. They had it because they had an event site off of the inn. And the new owners were dirtbags, and they've been using this thing for 4 years for free. So it took me 4 years to track down who owned the paper on it, because it changed constantly. And I finally found the guy, and I was like, yeah, we'll give you 8,000 for it. And he immediately said yes, which means he paid pennies on the dollar for it.
Oh, yeah.
We could have said 5,000, he would have said yes.
Right.
So our second one we got for 8,000 because of, foreclosure on it, basically. And then our most recent one, which is luxury, was 40,000.
Damn, good for
But
you.
it's a different company, and they're much better. Our first two are from this one company, and they're kind of chintzy. They kind of, this new one is like, it's a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Everything works perfectly on it, and it's just like high quality. So 40 for it's not a bad deal.
Where do you dump all your stuff?
So there's different ways you can do it. So if anyone's getting into restaurant trailers, your first way is you're just going to bring it back to your place and pay a septic guy to pump it out. If you go to a city one, it usually doesn't work because the pipe's higher than the lower of the trailer. So you just pay a septic guy. If we're near a campsite, you can go to the campsite and dump it for $7. You just angle the trailer down, put a hose in the back toilet, it dumps out into theirs, because there's our ground level, just like a little sewer septic thing.
Sure.
It's like $7 to $10 you can do it at a campsite. $100 you can pay the guy. But then if you get really big and you got a bunch, you just get a pump at your warehouse or wherever you're storing them, and you pump it into an above ground septic tank.
Sure.
Or below if you already have one. And then you just pay someone to come once a month or whenever to empty that.
Not bad.
Not
I mean,
at all.
I gotta get into the shitter business. Let's
So
say.
I didn't want to do it for the longest time because I'm like, I don't want to deal with shit. But then you research it, like you never see it because it goes into a tank and then it just gets pumped out. You never see poop, nothing.
Yep.
And it's one of the fastest things. Like, sure, you might spend an hour. You got to spend like an hour to clean it after every event. But you can pay someone $30 to do that. But you literally just drive it somewhere, drop it off, just 15 minutes to set it up, leave, then come and get it.
Yep.
And then pay someone to pump it. It's like super easy money.
So $1,000 to rent it, $150 for cleaning and pumping. So you've made $850 minus your gas to get there.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad little gig.
Not at all.
I think you need to start renting golf carts.
Oh, so I've looked into it. I've looked into it a lot, and I've talked to a lot of companies about it. So one big company that used to do it, they're like, we're out of it. We're out. We're done. We're never doing it again. And they just said the insurance gets way too expensive, like way more than you even make, because it's always drunk people. And there's always an accident.
No. Just saying. It's not like we got yelled at for fucking doing NASCAR.
I can't imagine being drunk on a golf course in a golf cart.
No, it's not for the, well, there's that.
Wedding. Bring it.
No, I understand. I'm just saying, even on the golf course.
Even on the golf course, but people don't get as drunk or as stupid. People don't get as stupid on the golf course. Some people do. Some people do. Yeah, some people are jumping the.
Apparently, we haven't golfed together.
Right.
I remember going down a hill once and it was a little wet, so I yanked that thing to the side and I spun all the way down the hill.
But also, there's another thing. The people who are getting drunk on the golf course are capable drunks. The people at a wedding is just some 120-pound girl who never rode a golf cart before and is also not that great at life to begin with. So she's crashing it.
You've met her too, huh?
Yeah.
What do you want to expand into?
Airbnb more, just because it's like it's really profitable. Just regular rentals. I want to be done with this manual labor event stuff like in the next 5 years. I want to be more like really hands off, and I'm really pushing like affiliate marketing too.
Okay.
I have another TikTok channel and a YouTube channel where I just like the YouTube channel just started out where if I bought something from Amazon and I review it, put the link. And then the TikTok channel, I just take other people's videos of reviews and just change them a little bit and put it up and put the link. And then those videos go on YouTube. And so I'm not making any content. I'm just reusing other people's content and putting the link and just trying to make money off of that.
Yeah, no, I mean, affiliate market seems like, and that's the thing. It seems like everybody's doing that right now, right? Like, I was watching a guy so I do magic. I'm a magician, right?
Okay.
Woo-woo. And I was watching this guy. That's what he did. And all of a sudden, he just kept talking about affiliate marketing and, hey, this is how you start. And this is how, and I was like, wait, your whole YouTube channel just changed. I like you here. I don't like you here.
Right.
It's like, man, I don't need to buy everything. I already buy enough stupid shit.
Right.
I mean, I do want a fill and chill table. Don't get me wrong, but
if I had an affiliate link for that, I would have linked it somewhere. But that's not my first thought. Like on on my main YouTube, Tank Guy and this Real World Side Hustle, my first thought is not talking about something I can affiliate link. My other TikTok and YouTube, that's all that is just showing neat products. I made a video about this one time. I don't know if you guys saw it. I have another YouTube channel called Coin Pushing Craziness. Bought a coin pushing machine, and I just filmed myself playing it.
And
People fucking watch it.
millions of I have been looking for a coin pusher, right? Just so I can sit at home and fill it with $100 bills and fucking stupid other products that I'm never going to use. Like here, iPad Air fucking headphones and watch it fall. And I'm like, it's just my money recirculating. I'm okay with this, right? But people watch that shit all day. I watch it, right? Like I'm not afraid to admit that.
So when you're watching one of those channels, if you ever came across it, do you know that they're not at a casino no matter how much they say they're at a casino?
Yes.
Yeah.
And because if there's a casino that had that, I would be at that casino.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest about that.
Casinos can't legally have those games.
Right.
And I forget why, because it's not.
You can't regulate it in a sense of guaranteed wins and losses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I'm in my comments, people are like, what casinos is that? And I just don't say anything. And but in my videos, I don't say like I'm at a casino either, but I don't say I'm not.
Right. Don't say I'm not. No, I mean, what do you put? Now I have to watch it. Like, what do you put for your prizes that you win?
So I bought these fake looking AirPod things. I bought some fake Bitcoin things. I bought some fake gold. I actually did put $50,000 of real cash in there. I thought that video was going to blow up, but
not so much, huh?
It didn't.
Huh.
I put fake poker chips that looked like they came from a casino in there. That one blew up because I said it's $450,000 worth. I put a fake Magic the Gathering cards, like the Power Knot. I don't know if you guys ever played Magic. I'm saying
dude, I'm telling you, you and I are like, you're in New York. I happen to be in Michigan. Like,
right.
You're just only 6 years older than me. I definitely know what the Power 9 is.
All right. So yeah, I put fake Power 9 in there. Just whatever.
Yeah. Why'd you do fake? You couldn't do the real stuff.
I don't have the real stuff.
I can send it to you.
Set of fake. Right. So what I started playing Magic, first set. I didn't have Black Lotus, but the kid across the street from me, his deck had Black Lotus, his deck had Time Spiral. And he had all those things, and so somehow they just went missing. His mom sold them or whatever. But
of course,
but man, yeah.
No, so that's how I made it through high school. Most people don't know that. So I was actually top 10 in the state of Michigan for Magic for the longest time.
Really?
I just and then later Magic became about who can spend the most money. And that bugged me, right? Like it's kind of stopped, but I was.
Here's the ones I'm trying to sell right now. I got these in Parallel Lives that shot up. That's like $40.
Yep.
I don't know how you feel. No one likes playing me. I got a really great sliver deck.
There you go. I'll play you any day.
My sliver deck, fucking, everyone just destroys me as soon as we start playing. I can never win with it.
Sure.
But if we play 1-on-1, my slivers just destroy.
Some chances. No, I used to enjoy playing. I played a 12-year-old kid that came to my house because he was into it, and I was like, "Hey, I got some stuff," and he was all giddy to play, and I hadn't played him forever. So,
right.
I still keep some stuff around for the just in case, but
right.
I don't know. We would spend, and back then, like you'd win packs, and so I'd either sell the unopened packs or I'd open it and pull, and then sell all that type stuff. And that's that, and hustling and bowling was the only way I made it through life.
Right. How many of the Power 9 you got? You got them graded or just?
No, I don't have anything graded, but I own the entire set.
Really? Wow. Yep. But they're like, you couldn't send them in, they wouldn't get a good grade.
They probably could. I mean, but they just sit in a binder and all on the front page, and I look like a badass. So
right.
It's nothing more fun when you go to like talk to people about what to trade, and they're like, oh, holy shit.
Right.
Yeah. I traded for all of it too.
Really?
Yep. Awesome. Every last one of it.
Here's a weird thing I did. You guys know the game Hero Quest?
No.
All right. So it's like Dungeons and Dragons, but it had a book. No, I never played it. It's a game from the 80s, but it's got its own board and own characters and stuff and its own cards. Well, I just started noticing people like love this game and it's going for crazy on eBay. So I just found all the cards online, downloaded them, put them in Photoshop, colored them, and sent them off to a professional printer. And I got like, they got so many cards, like so many different sets of decks. And I just professionally printed them for $10 a deck, and I sell them for $40 a deck on eBay. And
Jeez.
that's the easiest kind of eBay because you have 100 of something and you just list it once, but quantity 100. I hate having 100 of different things and having to do 100 different listings.
Yeah. Say, no, that's a way to do it. For a while, gosh, I had multiple different friends that would do different things. So I had a guy who would take a foil card, be able to acetone the top of it, and then he would print anything you wanted out of foil. So like, right, Black Lotus has never come in foil, but all of a sudden now you have a shiny Black Lotus, and so he would do that and it'd be really cool. And then I don't remember how many cards, but I had a friend that would make 3D cards. So he would take 24 copies of the same card, slice it, and then cut out everything, and then it would be a 3D card of that card.
Right, that's cool.
So, yeah.
There's a guy I follow on TikTok. He takes a thrift store painting, and paints like a AT-AT in there or a dinosaur or something, on a farm. And it's a $2 thing from the thrift store. He spent some time on it, and he sells them consistently on his website for $450.
Shut the fuck up! This is great.
It's insane.
I love hearing these types of things because I do vinyl stickers, and I used to do T-shirts, and that was one of my little companies. And I made the wrong decision on that one, but so I got to the point where I was making just the same in that as I was in my career. But back then, we were young, and I was like, all right, do I stop and try to build this, or do I keep what's guaranteed and kind of focus on the real estate thing and guarantee myself insurance? Well, I chose to close the T-shirt stuff, and I had my kid, and my daughter has everything shiny and every onesie you could ever imagine with whatever she wanted on it. And I still do stuff for my daughter. Nothing really else. I mean, do we pay for these?
Yeah, we paid for these.
I don't.
You paid for them instead of make them?
Yeah, but I only do one colors or two color type things. But
right.
The basics. But no, I don't know. I start a lot of things and then go, all right, what am I going to do with it? So another question I had for you on your business, you said you want to be out of it in 5 years. Do you want to hire a general manager, or do you want to sell the company? And it's easy to sell a rental company.
So on my one channel called How I Started, or no, actually I put it on my Tent Guy channel because it was tent related. I interviewed a broker who sells rental businesses, and his main thing was like, no one's going to buy a rental business that doesn't make $1 million plus a year. I'm at 640. So no one's going to buy my business. It's going to go to auction if it does go to, if that's the way it goes. This is for anyone who's listening. This is the main thing to learn, or one of the main things to learn is you need to set your business up so that it doesn't need you. You can leave for a month or two. I didn't do that. My business does need me. If I'm gone for a while, it's not going to run. I'm slowly trying to get it there. But someone's going to want to come into a business and they don't want to put in 80 hours a week. They're comfortable with 40, but they'd be more comfortable with 8. They want to come into a business that runs itself, that doesn't need you. So if you're building a business that you think what you're one day going to sell, set up every system that you can so it doesn't need you, and you'll be able to get top dollar for it. Because people are looking at this as an investment. They don't want to come in and buy a job. They want to come in and buy a business that's running and will stay running.
Unless it's making the $1 million that you're talking, right? People will do
Yeah.
that. One thing I will say, and I guess what I try to teach people is never go into a business intending to sell, because then you'll fail, because you won't run it. You won't run it like a business and continue to grow it the way you're supposed to, right? I mean, you won't beat the inflation aspect of things, but no, I mean, right. You said it great. Make sure people don't want to buy a business that they have to work their ass off in, right?
Exactly. Like a single plumber, he may have a great business, but it's just him and maybe one dude. Mm-hmm. No one's going to come in and buy that business because they're going to have to come in and replace you.
Yep.
they may buy the plumbing business where the owner sits in the office and just takes the phone calls and organizes jobs, and he's got 30 people that goes out and do things. That's the plumbing business they'll buy, but they're not going to buy your little plumbing business. Sure, you may make 600,000 a year with just you and one dude, but no one's going to buy that.
The only thing I'll say about that is, like, if you have a plumbing business or a HVAC business, or like, you know, a business of trade, the only person that will buy it from you is an apprentice aspect of a person that you've gone through.
Right.
Like another employee that's just says, hey, this name's already been established. You know that it's worth it. Pay me land contract, or pay me, you know, or I don't even know what you call it. It wouldn't be land contract, but like, right, pay me monthly and you can just make payments on the cost that I want. Excuse me. And then the only business I know that a company will come in and pay you, even though you're the employee, is a trash business, a garbage truck business. Granted,
Right.
You're a little different in New York because I think you guys have, like the city does your stuff, or at least
No, not always. So like there's some guy I knew who just started. It was cheaper to throw the garbage in his pickup truck and bring it.
Yep.
And he started doing his neighbors, and then he started doing the whole neighborhood. And then he got a trailer, and then he got a compacting trailer, and then he got a truck, and now he's the biggest company in the area.
Sure.
So only the major, not major, but you know, the municipalities that have, you know, their
Sure.
own city thing.
Yeah.
Everywhere else it's private.
Because like I had a buddy that he grew to 250 people on his route, because he just went and bought a garbage truck, and then just, you know, he's like, I only have to dump it every so often until I get to the next biggest, you know, the next step, and yeah, and then he had like 250 people on his route, and like everybody knows Waste Management, I guess, right? They came in and just offered him money and said, here, get the fuck out. We take your
Right.
client now.
We'll take
And
your
so-
route.
Yep. And
Yeah.
so that's a business you build just to sell.
Yeah.
Right.
Like really it is. Because I don't know what it is, but it's like the top 3 in that company or in that market literally don't want any competition.
No,
They
not
at all. Right.
really just want to own that damn thing. And
Yeah.
I've never seen anything else like it.
Because it's
Blows my
a
mind.
business of scale. You want the routes that are all like near each other.
Yep.
You don't want to go from this house and then another house a mile away. You want every house in between there, because that's only an extra 2 or 3 minutes, but how much they're paying outweighs those 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I do have one more suggestion that this guy gave me on selling a business. Like, if you do want to sell a business, it's not just like you decide that day and next month you're going to sell. It's like a 3-year process, because if you don't already have the systems in place for you not to have to be there, you have to get those in place. Plus, you still have to keep maintaining your inventory. You can't just decide I'm going to sell and then let everything go to crap. And you have to come up with a plan so that when someone comes in and they say, well, how would you make more money? You need to say like, well, I would target these people. I would do this. I would invest in that. So it's like a 2 to 3 year process. You say you want to sell, and then you start getting everything ready to sell, and then you can sell. It's not, I'm going to sell, and next month someone's going to buy it.
Yeah, we've talked to a couple of friends. Friends of ours own a comic book shop, right? And he worked there for a while, and it was like, hey, all right, you want to buy it? All right, hey, you're going to stay on for a year, so that way these customers get to know me and you, and you're vouching for me the entire time, right? Like
Right.
here, and then so like that transition can take a while. We talked to a Subway franchisee, right? Like it is not just an instant sale of things, and people don't understand that. Like it's not real estate where, hey, you go to the closing table and oh, good luck. You know?
Right. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I got offers for my apparel company, and I don't know, like I should have sold it, but the hard part was I didn't want to give away my clientele list, because I was just like, it's not going to do you any good. You just don't know that, because like they didn't come to me saying, hey, will you stay on while I get to know your people and you can vouch for me? They were just
Right.
like, hey, I get your list. And I was like, that's just going to fail you, because they think you're fucking stupid. You're not me,
Right.
right? Like you're not going, heck yeah, I can do that tomorrow. Right. Like, I don't know. I mean, I and business ownership, you're trying to work less, but like really you're working 20 hours a day some days and you don't know it.
Yeah.
You know, that tent's got to go up one way or another, right? Whether you
Oh,
hit a
yeah.
freaking,
Yeah.
whether you hit a stone in the ground that you have to get there, like it's got to go up.
There's the funny, I see it often, like, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 job, so I'm going to work for myself. And I ended up working 24/7.
Yep. I say, my phone goes off all the time, right?
Well, I mean, people are saying to my wife all the time, well, you're only open from Thursday to Sunday, so you have, 3 days off every week.
Yep.
No, she works those 3 days. She has to get inventory. She has to do social media. She has to,
Yep. Oh, and I look at it and just say, I'm not being a good business owner right now. Like my taxes were due back April 15. It's May 18. And I just sent my accountant a copy of my fucking driver's license.
Right.
I just sent a copy of like one of my investment portfolios. I just sent something else,
Right.
and I'm like, hey, these other 3 things, I'm gonna get them to you.
Right.
Thanks for that extension.
I messed up my sales tax this past year. Usually in the beginning of the year, I mark the dates because I got to pay it 4 times a year.
Yep.
But last year I was going through it was right when I was getting separated and I was going crazy. I was doing a bunch of sugar baby stuff.
Yeah. Smart man.
And a bunch of other stuff like that. And I just didn't pay attention and I never marked it. And I missed all my sales tax dates. And now I'm screwed.
No, that's like, it's hard. I mean, I don't know. And dude, here it is, May, and I'm 5 months behind on this year's, right? Because like normally in my computer I have everything spreadsheet. In my head, I know I just spent, $7,000 on a roof, $7,000 on a roof, like, but it's not written down.
Right.
I now have to pull all of my credit card or my debit card transactions and go, all right, where's this allocated to? What property? And
Right.
I know I've paid cash for stuff because I pay cash for a lot of things because we know what cash gets us.
Yeah.
I can still write it off, right? Like what you do with it, that's not my problem. I've paid you,
Right.
So it's just I'm 5 months behind. I literally got to kick myself in the ass.
It happens every so often. I'm really good, but
I've been 12 years in this business and this is my worst year yet.
Yeah.
So
I got one more thing I want to, well, we can keep going forever, but
of course we can.
I always want to get this into every interview as well. For anyone who's thinking about starting a business, I know we talked about books, like we don't really like books, but any business that you're thinking about starting, there is at least 5 to 10 to 20 Facebook groups about that business. So go join it. And by 2 months later, you may decide, I don't want to be in that. Or you're going to learn from all these people's mistakes. Everyone on these Facebook groups wants to share and will answer all your questions. And you'll be 5-10 years ahead when you're starting this business because you learned everything from these people before you even put a penny down for your business.
100%. And also, so the other, I'm going to jump on that. Sorry. When you join these Facebook groups, understand there's people in there that are also in the same spot where you want to learn, but they'll give their fucking opinion and they're the stupidest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
I'm in so many real estate freaking groups, right? And I still call myself a beginner because I'm not ended, right? Like I'm still beginning my journey. And the answers I see from some of these people are just blows my mind how stupid people are. And I'm just like,
right.
Okay. So find somebody that you agree with their answer and why they gave the answer, because I know that I don't sell myself at all when it comes to texting. If you talk to me in person, I'm a pretty intelligent person, but like texting, it's just straight answer, like yes, no, this is why, boom, done. Like right. I don't
spelling you don't worry about.
Not a fucking chance, right? Like this is your answer, right?
Well, real estate's so broad. I do imagine there's a bunch of dummies in there. But if you go to a bounce house group, there are dummies, but the smart people outweigh. Like I have joined some Facebook groups where it's kind of a more broad thing, and I'm just like, all right, I'm out of here. These people are dumb.
Well, I'd get somebody who'd be like, hey, my tenant shot the front window. Should I charge them?
Right.
Like, honestly, please don't even own fucking real estate, right? Like, don't charge them. I don't care. And I usually tell people, I'm like, if you're asking this question, you should probably sell your property, right? And they're like, why? And I was like, because literally for the rest of your life, you're just going to hemorrhage money, and this is never going to make you anything. And you have to understand that, because shooting a window turns into breaking a toilet, turns into like, hey, I broke the surround in my shower. Like well, they pay on time. Great. Like that's fucking great. Right. I don't know. not even an over exaggeration. It's probably an under exaggeration of some of the stupid shit I've been like, just the questions. And there's no such thing as a dumb question, but like,
Yes, there is.
you should really think about it before you ask it. You know,
Right.
and basically they should rethink about how they should ask it. Hey, how would I charge my tenant for this broken window that they did? Right. Like, hey, the tenant said a bird flew into the window. Am I responsible? Did they give you the dead bird? Right. Like,
Right.
is it, but there's only a hole that's the size of a BB. Yeah, the beak just stuck right into it. Good job, buddy.
Well,
Right.
I used to do that post on Facebook of, no, you're not allowed to do this at break room therapy.
Oh God, yeah. I used to be the one who was like, I would do that.
And it would just be some of the dumbest shit that you couldn't even think up, and people are doing it, and it's like, come on. So, we put all of the glass in a crate. Okay, it's a plastic crate. You're there to break glass. And people will start wailing on the fucking crate. So I'll go in, no, you're not allowed to break the crate. This idiot, oh no, if I paid for it, I'm breaking it.
I'm breaking the crate.
So he comes with a group of friends. I said, by the way, if anybody breaks the crate, Nick pays $50 for it.
Right.
I have to fight these assholes for the crate, right? Because I'm like, damn, I'm not going $50 deep. But I told him, I said, it's a break room. I would break everything, every aspect of this whole thing. I want to break it all.
Right. Even the lights up top.
Yeah.
That's a fact, right? Like, I can throw that high. I got this. So, now, you want to get more into real estate. You actually mentioned something earlier. You said, hey, it's a better investment than like 401k. So do you invest into anything like crypto, 401k, Roth IRAs, anything like that?
Yeah. So I max out those, whatever the max is.
Sure.
And then I got a separate E-Trade for, it's called VFIAX, which just follows the S&P 500.
Sure.
I did get heavy into AMC.
Did you sell at the right time?
So because I was going through a divorce, I did sell at the right time. So that it was after I sold right before the signing things, because then after that, whatever is yours is yours. But then I bought back in and I'm down. So, but not too crazy. And then I do some crypto. Right now I got like $100 recurring buy in Bitcoin and this and that. I've never really lost money on crypto. I've always made money, but now I'm just more into the long thing. There are some people, like there's this guy I follow on TikTok called the Freedom Hustler, where he just rents out RVs and he's got a bunch of properties and he hates 401ks and stuff because he's rather take his money and put it in other stuff, which when you're young, yeah, that's great and amazing. It's the return, the returns are higher on investing in RVs and businesses and stuff. But if I got this extra money, I'm not going to buy a house with that money. So let's throw it into there.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm with those.
I'm a diverse person, right? It's not the fact that I won't go buy another house or do whatever. It's that I want to guarantee my end.
Right.
My 401k, even if it goes in half, it's still half. My index funds, if it goes in half, it's still half. Like my real estate, if it plummets, it's half. Like, but if my real estate cuts and it's dead, I'm out, right? So if I have half of everything at the end, I'm still worth something, right? Like,
right. I
don't put all my eggs in one basket in a general sense. Sure. Am I 80% heavy in real estate? 100%, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I invest in a bunch of different things.
We do like lots of avenues.
I wish I listened to, they all tell you like, start investing now. You're 18, put $50 a month away and then put more. I wish I listened to them. No one listens to them.
I did.
But you did?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm the first to admit that.
So I wish I put $50 in when I was 18 a month and then turn it to 100 and then 200. And, eventually you max out those, tax advantage ones, but then you just switch to index funds or whatever.
Yep.
I wish I did that, but I didn't. So
my flip every year. I usually do a flip every year. And my first one that I close of the year, I throw in my 6,900 that you can throw in or whatever it is for Roth IRA. And it just, boom, there it is. Right. Guaranteed to go in there. I don't ask questions. And so like, that's how my mind thinks, is just, set it, forget it, right? You said you do $100 on a month or whatever. I mean, I'm at $100 in my betterment every single. It's funny because every Thursday I get every week I do 100, and I get an email reminder or something that's like, hey, your deposit's been made. And I was like, oh shit, I keep forgetting about that damn thing. But
Right.
we talked about crypto. I got a free $15 on the Super Bowl,
You did.
right? Because David texted me on the Super Bowl and was like, hey, get this. And I was like, all right. So I signed up for Coinbase, and my crypto is only worth $10.
Yeah, it went
Right.
down.
Right.
Yeah,
It went down
33%
recently.
loss. That's a fucking loss.
How much did you pay for that?
$0.00.
There you go.
You know how much
Right.
it's worth?
$10.
No, I don't know. I mean, I'm not selling it. So
Well, that's
just
right.
it, right. That's just the big key.
Is your business, are you the only person, do you have employees in your business?
Me?
Yeah.
I do not have any legal employees.
Okay. So
Sorry.
the
If like, I know that sounds weird, but no, I do not have any W-2s.
okay, so there's this really weird thing you could do for a 401k for yourself. Because right now, like we're thinking self-employed, we got the IRAs and the SEP IRA and things like that.
Yep.
You could switch over to 401k as a solo entrepreneur, and you can put $450,000 away tax-free per year, up to that. I interviewed a guy. I didn't quite understand everything he was saying. It's on my How I Started Business or YouTube channel,
Yep.
but he sets up these whole systems for solopreneurs where they're saving $450,000 a year tax-free. It's a 401k on top of a 401k on top of this.
Yeah.
But it only really works for solo people.
Sure. Huh. That's something, I mean,
Something to look into.
I'll have to look into it. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's funny because I was drinking with a bunch of people, and a kid was kind of talking about that. And I was like, yeah, no, 21,000 is the most I've ever heard of type thing. But he did say some ridiculous number. But now that you're the second person to tell me, I'll actually look into it. Like I give a shit, because again, we were drinking and I was like, I don't trust anything right now. So
It can work if you got a bunch of employees, but then all those employees, you have to match them the highest rate and you have to give them the best things. But really is advantageous for, like, he does a lot of YouTube people who are making millions a year. Just they're the YouTube. That's the entire business, and it's just them.
Yeah. I don't know. I will have employees because my daughter will work for me. Because I can get that as a tax write-off.
Right.
And she picks up sticks and does stuff. Have you ever been audited?
Not by like that. I've been audited by like the Department of Labor.
Sure.
I think someone called, but everyone is, I do it all legal. There's some people who are, they come in and they just get cash, but I got hit because I had these contractors and they weren't really doing it as like, this is what the job cost. They were there for like a year and they were just more hourly, and I got hit with them because they ended up considering them employees.
Sure. No, I've been audited. So it's like, I don't know. I don't want to explain that I paid my daughter, $2,000 because when I go mow lawns, she picks up sticks and and it's funny because I take pictures and I share it on Facebook about my daughter, and I'm just like, here she is screwing in the screws. And yeah, I had to finish up the screw, but it's like, she works, right? I mean, granted,
Right.
It's not extremely physical labor type. It doesn't matter what I pay her. I don't pay her an astronomical amount of money, but granted, I also give her bonuses because I should be writing off the fucking ice cream we go get every time,
Right.
the jungle juice or whatever that we go get at the stupid gas station for $1. I should write that off every single time. But I don't ever test it and push it. So, I think her piggy bank is worth more than my change sitting at home. I'll tell you that much, but
Right. Yeah, occasionally I get things in the mail from the IRS or the New York State, and it says, "Oh, you owe an extra $198." And I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's, like,
here's your money.
I'm not going to question why. I'm not going to,
Yep.
open that bag of worms.
Yeah. What do you have any kids?
So my ex, she had a kid. So I never officially adopted him. We just changed his name. So no, my new girlfriend, we're kind of anti-kids. So if you guys got kids, it's, totally cool. I just don't like them.
No, that's fine. I say David hates kids.
I like my 27-year-olds.
Yeah, I say,
And the girls I coach.
and
That's
the
it.
kids we coach. Yeah, I say, and my daughter's, she's all right. So
I like your
No.
daughter. She just hates me.
yeah, no, we we both do a lot of youth things. So,
Right.
no, and we talked about it on the last episode. It's like I was in my business so much to where it's like if I didn't have one, I understood like this is where I'm gonna head. But if now that I have one, like it's a great for me. So
Right.
if you don't have it, that's completely fine. Now I seen that you had a box truck. Do you have your chauffeur's license for that?
No, I don't know what a chauffeur's license is.
Do they not have that in New York?
Don't ask me.
Chauffeur's license. So like, you know what a CDL is, right? So
Yeah.
it's below that, so that way it doesn't have air brakes and it doesn't have these types of things. So that way you can drive a box truck or drive a limo.
Oh, right. No, so I own a 16-footer and all you
Oh, it's
just
too short.
need yeah. And then we rent 26-footers, but they don't have air brakes.
Sure.
Occasionally, I mean, one year they gave us air brakes and they're just like, whatever, we don't care.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the most I go up to is 26-footer. So I own one that's mostly for the winter because I don't want to rent a truck like once a week here and there. And then in the summer, that truck is just way too small. So we rent two 26-footers. In every rental company, like my friend rents at least 30 trucks a summer and he owns like 2 trucks. There's no reason to own 30 trucks. That's very, very expensive.
Sure.
And renting them is just a complete write-off. And you're only using them for 6 months of the year. So the other 6 months, you don't need 30 trucks.
Sure.
So most rental companies just rent what they need for the summer.
Yeah. I don't know. We have too many now. If I tell you we have too many rental places around here, what would you say?
That's good because you're talking about rental trucks, like
No, like sorry for like canopies and chairs and tables and stuff. Should I start a business or should I just understand that there's too many rental places around?
no, there's more than enough for everyone to go around. Like
Okay.
we say, no, we cut off weekends. There's just not enough to go around, and no one company can handle it. And you just want to mainly differentiate yourself as always having clean stuff. Like some of these companies around you probably are just dirty and cheap, and there is a market for that. And I don't target that market. Like I don't want to go to someone's house for 2 tables and 30 chairs.
Sure.
I want to go for, at least 500 or more. So those are the people we target, the people who want the clean stuff and are going to pay for it. And I have this one friend who he buys glasses that are it's $60 per wine glass that he's buying, and he's renting them out for $15 a piece. And it's like, who the hell's paying for that? Well, he's targeted a luxury rental. Everything he has is luxury, and it's very expensive. And he explains to his customers, like, you're not just paying for the item, you're paying for the exclusivity of the item to sit in my warehouse and only go out to you this month. So there's all these different niches. Like if you got a bunch of people in your area doing $50 bounce houses, I wouldn't go into that. But like the niche luxury thing, or the wedding side, or just the clean backyard barbecue instead of some crappy backyard barbecue.
Yeah. And then when you go to a barbecue, do you set up all the chairs, or
No.
So you just put them on a pallet and they have to set them out where they feel like?
Yeah, we have these mover dollies, they're green carpet on them, great wheels. We just drop them off in their yard, and we tell them, I made stickers on the back that say stack this side up. So they're always stacked. And I say, you need to stack them back up or we're going to charge you. And I said, this is because if we have to go to every single yard and pick up every single chair, the chairs are now going to be $3 instead of $1.50. So this saves everyone time, or saves everyone money, because we can just come in and grab them.
That's great.
If people want it set up, I've learned my lesson. They need to provide a diagram, even if it's just chicken scratch on a paper. And I only set up to that diagram. There's no move this here, move that there. And we charge, depending on how I'm feeling, anywhere from $150 to $300 an hour to set up to your diagram.
Depending on how I'm feeling.
Depending on how they're treating me on the phone or in person. Yeah.
What's the farthest you'll go?
So recently I just decided to bring it in. There's like, if I accept a job that's 2 hours away, next week I'm getting a call for the same equipment that's 15 minutes away. So I'd rather just wait. I went all the way to Rochester before. I've driven to New York City for 2 tables. It was a film crew. It was a film show. I forget. It was a Showtime show called The Nick, and they needed 2 of my farm tables to look rustic for whatever period there. And they ended up paying me $2,000 for 2 tables. But I'd probably say no to that now because it's just like, I don't know.
Nobody likes to go into New York.
Yeah, it was horrible. I had a pickup truck, never been in there before. Everyone's aggressive. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. But at the time when I was like 25, $2,000 to drive New York City was cool, but I'd say no to that. So we've brought it in. Just we have this one town near us. It's called Old Forge, New York. It's very, mountainy, rustic. I told everyone that we used to do business there. I'm like, we're not coming up here next year. We're done. And that's because like everywhere there's fucking boulders under the ground, or you can't get in their driveway, or when you do get in their driveway, then you got to go down towards the water, and just everything sucks about it. And I was just like, this makes me mad every time we have to go up there. So we're just done.
Sure.
And that comes with time. Like, and when you're young, you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna yes.
You'll chase money.
But then as you get older or you start making more money, you're just like, I don't need to say yes to these things. I just say no and get the business that's closer, the business that's easier. I used to say yes to these very complicated things, and now I just say no. Like the tent halfway over a fence, like the fence is going through the tent. We'd say yes to that. And now I'm just like, no, not going to do that. And if you want us to do it, we're going to charge you an extra $3,000 for it. What do you mean? Well, it's a lot of work to get the tent over a fence.
Yep. I have to hire more people for that.
It's going to take a lot more time. And there's an opportunity cost too. Like if I say yes to the job that's 2 hours away, I could have had 4 jobs in my town. And whatever I'm charging for delivery is not making up for those 4 jobs in town that I could have done in those 2 hours. So I'd rather do those 4 jobs in town and maybe potentially lose that big order somewhere because I'm making more profit in town.
Say it's smart. Let's say, Adam, anything else you want to give us advice on, or any information you'd like to share with us?
I said my main 2 things. Know what business you're in, because you may be thinking you're in one business, but you're actually in another. Really, really focus in on that and figure out what business you actually do every day.
Yep.
And number 2 was, if you're thinking about getting in a business, go join a Facebook group and start talking to people.
Sure.
I know this probably goes without saying to you, we're going to want to have Adam back at some point.
That's a fact. Just say, we hope that we can get you to come back again.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. This was the longest one I ever did, and it didn't even feel that long.
You're welcome.
Do you guys usually go this long?
We've been known to, yeah.
Just say we've done it. Say usually no.
Yeah, usually we cut it off at about 2 hours if we're really going, but if we're very interested, we'll just keep talking forever.
As you said, we could do this all night because I absolutely love the business. I don't get too many business ownership people. And then again, people that want to talk about my business, right, which is very hard in the other general sense.
Well, I like to learn. I'm always asking questions of everything. People just think I was annoying. Yep. And I was like, well, how am I going to know if I don't ask these questions?
Correct.
Yep. That's one of my biggest sayings is you never know until you ask.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because
exactly.
But Adam, thank you so much for joining us.
Wait, I got one more thing, guys.
There it is.
To anyone in your audience, find me on TikTok, not to give me views, or on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and send me messages about side hustles that you know about that you wouldn't mind sharing with people, because I want to put them out and share them with people and maybe improve someone else's life by giving them the idea to start a side hustle or business. So I'm running out of ideas. I blew my load way too fast on TikTok. I made 4 or 5 videos a day. I need ideas.
He said,
that will happen.
Yeah. So
I'm going to
t-shirt side hustle, buddy. That's what you got to do.
I'm going to shout out to Samuel Smith's, Blake's, and Lost Coast. Nick?
Yeah, tried and true. Always the blue, baby. Bud Light. Thanks so much. I appreciate my first sip was great.
Adam, you had?
I had a Utica Club, and I do have a question about your beer because you said it's sponsored by? Are they paying you for it to be on here, or they just give you free?
So
Samuel Smith.
Samuel Smith was sponsored by Mike, who was on earlier before he had to leave, because he bought it for me.
Mm.
And then the Blakes my wife bought. So we have been sponsored from time to time.
Yep, let's say.
Some local-
Destil
Destel Brewery in Normal, Illinois gave us a free 6-pack.
Coors Light gave us the seltzers.
Yep. Ailbert has given us a growler.
2 growlers, yeah, but you
Yeah.
gotta say, so we've been sponsored, and then
Grand Armory.
Grand
had us up
Armory
for a
definitely
tour.
had us out and
Yeah.
fed us beer like candy.
Yes. We were a
so
little drunk that episode.
we've had quite a few. So we don't take sponsorship in money aspect. We take sponsorship in beer, and we give big shout outs, and we talk about that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and one of the things people like about our show is, we're sitting here drinking beer. We just sounds like you're bullshitting with your friends.
Yeah, this was way different than a lot of interviews. A lot of interviews will ask a question, and then at the end of it, they'll be like, interesting, okay. And then they'll go into the next one, and it's like, you weren't listening.
so it's not at all who we are.
No, we're listening because we're thinking of 3 more questions to ask and what beer we're cracking open next.
That's a fact. I mean, so I personally, David, I know for sure. This is our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah. This was a great anniversary.
Yesterday
wasn't
or
it?
today? I don't remember.
I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, so it was yesterday because we're having the episode today. It's 2 years of doing this show. We've missed a couple times for some things, but really, this was an awesome episode.
It
I'm
really was.
very, very excited about it. I appreciate you coming on, telling us about your business, telling us growth. I mean, just so much. I please keep up your TikToks, because if you don't, I'll just have to watch random
Gotta watch boobs bouncing.
half naked girls and some dude that goes, "Oh, what were you watching? Follow me, you stupid fucks." And I'm like, dude, I don't want to watch you, right? Like,
You'll watch all the people falling down that they send.
I do, right? Like, but we are a business, right? We're a financial podcast. We're a business episode podcast. We love this type of stuff. So, really, everybody, if you are listening, like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma I said hi, and have her subscribe. Right? This is awesome for us.
You can find Adam's links in our show notes. We'll post it on our YouTube. Go check him out. He's got great content. We absolutely love following that.
Apparently 15 different contents, but we'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah. So I don't when I
you're fine.
send things out, I don't be like my coin pushing channel. It's really just the TikTok, the tent guy, and the how I started. Those are the ones where I'm like trying to
Yeah.
put information out there. A lot of times I feel bad about my life because I'm not Elon Musk, I'm not changing the world. But then someone put it to me, they're like, you're changing your friends' lives with businesses. You're also, I've changed a lot of people's lives. They got into the tent business and now they're doing movies for Amazon and meeting, movie stars and making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So that's why I do this, is because someone a long time ago changed my life, showed me this business, and I'm just trying to send out, maybe someone sparks an idea from our conversation.
And that's it. Like, I have low spots in my life too. Like, I'll tell you that, right? Because I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not in that spot, but I realize that what I have is better than what I started with. It's fucking hilarious because Facebook's a negative, but it has memories.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I was like, my job sucks. And I wrote it out like real long. And then I went and looked and I was like, 13 years ago today, I was making $8.25 an hour. I didn't own a house yet until October. Right. And now I look at my life and just go, holy shit balls, I've come a long fucking way. Right.
And you guys are doing this podcast and talking to other business people, because people are watching or listening.
Yeah.
They're getting an idea. Maybe it's not what you guys are doing, maybe not a break room or real estate, but maybe it's the person you talk to. And because of listening to this, then they go out and start that business, and now they're supporting their family and shit.
We started out, if we impact one life, we've done something, and we got feedback, honestly, probably right away. And we didn't care if we impact, I mean, we care, but like we set out and did exactly what we wanted to do. Now it's, can we reach one person? And that's all that matters. One person at a time.
Well, and it's one of the good things that came out of the pandemic. So Nick and I would get together and we just talk money bullshit with each other for 3-4 hours. And then the pandemic hit and we couldn't get together and bullshit. So I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, you want to hop on Zoom and bullshit? And we did. And
Right.
it was interesting. So then we're like, well, let's record our bullshit.
Yeah.
And people were like, hey, you got some pretty good ideas there. And then,
Yeah.
you know, we would just have on people we know and talk to them about their budget, or, you know, how do we pay off these, how do I invest?
Yeah.
And it just went from there.
Yeah. No, it's I'm gonna hop on. I've watched all your videos, to be honest, literally every one of them. So you need to put more content out because I've run out of good shit to watch.
Well, that's why I said to your audience, please send me ideas. I'm running out of ideas. There's only so many things that I've had direct experience with or research or know someone. The other things I'm not confident enough saying like this is a good side hustle or this is a good business.
Side, I'm telling you, side hustles are, you know, a t-shirt business is fantastic. I started out, all I did was make 10 jerseys for my friends that were playing softball, and I was debt free. We can
Right.
talk about it at another episode. We could, you know, I used to rent out my paintball guns because, you know, you can go to the place and they'll charge you more, or you could just borrow mine and go there.
Right.
So, I mean, we could talk about some random side hustle things. But I really appreciate you coming on, taking this much time out of your day to talk to two guys drinking some beer.
No problem, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having me
much,
on.
Adam.
Take care.
All right. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us. We'll be back next week.
Next week.
You've dialed in to Box and Brews. You might hear something you can use, like tips on your cash and tips on the suds. You're gonna want to use the smarts of these stuff, cause they know the brews, and they know the box, and they know they can't help the stubborn fucks. So listen up, cause shit's not funny. Save yourself some beer money. Bucks and brews.
Bucks and
Bucks
brews.
and brews.
Bucks and brews.